I got these pop mics covers, pop filters just today too.
From where?
Amazon. It's like something on Amazon.
A buddy of mine makes his own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Doc Rock. He's a black dude, black creator. You probably seen me share him before.
I think so.
My blue one is from him.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's pretty dope. I'm actually going to go see him at NAB this year. It's gonna be fun.
What's NAB?
National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey.
It's like a big thing I've been wanting to go ever since I was a child.
Okay.
Like young, maybe like 8 years old. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be your first time?
My first time.
Wow.
Yeah. I would say 8, maybe like in my early teens.
Okay.
Where I was like aware, like I would every Sunday I would read the BrandsMart, Circuit City, Best Buy adverts, and anytime NAB comes up, I would see. I was like, I want to go there. That's where all the stuff are coming out. Now I'm going. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that just reminded me of like when I was a kid. I've always wanted to go to E3. You remember that?
I wanted to go there.
I know. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I could probably try to get into like gaming journalism or something, because it wasn't just open to the public. You had to be doing something. I ended up meeting somebody virtually on Twitter who goes to E3. This was like way back in the day, like I don't know, like 2013 or so. And he would always say that he gets like a whole bunch of swag and stuff. And he actually mailed me a shirt because I gave him my address. This man I never met, this black man. Yeah. So, like, yeah, but I still have It's a Destiny shirt.
Yeah. Oh, Destiny is my favorite game.
Really?
Yeah. I played Destiny hardcore Destiny from the alpha. The alpha. I played the alpha. Played the beta. And I played Destiny 1 hardcore.
Okay.
I mean, like, rating, leveling up to 31. Like, I was level 32. I played Destiny hard. I've met game designers. Luke Smith. He designed one of my favorite campaigns in the game. What's the name? I can't remember the name of it right now, but so much. Like, I've attended DestinyCon, the first one in Tampa. It was held by this guy named Gathalion. He's a streamer, pretty big streamer. Okay. Located in Tampa, and the Destiny team went there. Like I also got to meet one of the biggest Destiny podcasts called Guardian Radio. So I met the whole cast. I got to meet with Pat. Forget his name. Destin Liguri. He's a IGN writer. He also commentates on Destiny. So Destiny is a big part of my life for a very long time. So yeah, I love Destiny.
Yeah. So like I never got a chance to play the game Destiny. I always wanted to, and I had the opportunity to when I got my PS4, I think, or I don't know, something, but I had the opportunity to get like a free game in Destiny. I remember it was one of the free games, and then I asked, I think maybe on Facebook or something or whatever, or I don't know, like some guy responded, it's like, hey, you should try like Far Cry or Fallout. It was Far Cry. And I was just like, all right. And I did not like Far Cry.
Yeah. I like Destiny.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It always looked really good to me. But yeah. I guess I should introduce the podcast.
Yeah, can I have this part? Just that first part?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Like we just started talking about gaming and stuff. Yeah. We can start.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, serious Guil.
No, it's not.
So I talk about content.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Agreeable Gray Area presents Moment of Clarity. Moment of Clarity is a podcast series where I will be interviewing some of my awesome, amazing guy friends who are of the nerdier ilk. As you could tell from, how we just introduced this episode. And just to see how, what it was like growing up and, how it is, how they are today and, how they went from being nerds to badass nerds. So here I have my really good friend Guil. Guil's a content creator, a podcast producer, and host. He is also a forklift mechanic. Previous. You're not anymore, correct?
Still kind of do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still a forklift
Yeah.
forklift mechanic, and he's just like an all around amazing person. If you have a question about cameras, podcasting equipment, and just podcasting in general, he is your guy. Gil,
Thank you.
welcome.
I think that was a good intro. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, of course. So I'm clearly super prepared, and I have my questions on my phone. I wanted to ask, like, what got you into anime and video games and like nerd culture? Like, do you remember?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, I've always kind of liked that stuff. I like different things. People like back in the day when there would be a fight at school, everybody would go left, I'd go right because I just kind of didn't really I didn't want to follow the crowd. And I
Gotcha.
noticed
I
that
hear
there
you.
was a whole plethora of people doing things one way, and it's not that to say that people who went to the right were wrong.
Right.
I wonder what else is out there, you know?
Yeah.
So then I found out that I found anime. There was a newspaper. I used to read the Sun Sentinel every Sunday.
Yeah.
Looking for like jobs, posting for my dad or whatever the case is. My dad would put adverts. He had a carpet cleaning business at the time. And then there was a thing that said, "Coming to South Florida, Dragon Ball from Japan." And I'm like, oh, wow, this looks, I like cartoons. I draw.
Yeah.
This looks different. What is this? And I put it on. Wait, it's Sunday. It's today. We turned the TV. We had the dial back then.
Yeah.
It was, even though it was like in the early 90s.
Right.
Had a dialed it to UPN 33, and there it was, Dragon Ball. And I was like, what is this? And it was like, oh my gosh, he's riding on a thing called Nimbus.
Yeah.
That's a cloud. Oh, cool. This is different. Okay, what's the moral of the story? Because every show in America was like, the moral of the story is don't steal, kids.
Especially in the 90s.
In the
like,
90s.
Yeah, like the after school specials.
Yeah, the after school specials,
Yeah.
like, don't smoke. And I'm like, they have guys in the background smoking cigarettes. Like, what is this?
Oh, right. That's true.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no moral. There's no like good guy, bad guy. Wait, Goku's beating people up.
Yeah.
What is this? And I just fell in love with it, went to school. And did you guys see that thing?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see the thing. There's no, what are you talking about? I was like, there was a thing called Dragon Ball. It looks so cool. And I fell in love with that. And then ever since then, I just loved anime. The stories are just different.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I do love about anime is that it just takes you into a completely different world that like a lot of American cartoonists or just American like movies and things like that just don't do. And I think that's why, like with shows like Adventure Time, which kind of is like just crazy and goes through all this like amazing and magical things. That's probably where they more than likely got influenced. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure. Yeah. My next question is, speaking of growing up, like which fictional character or characters did you want to emulate or did you look up to when you were growing up?
Me and my older brother wanted to become Blade.
Okay.
Or like the Winchesters, like Sam and Dean Winchester, like supernatural superheroes that defeat vampires.
Okay.
In Haiti. And defeat like witches and warlocks and just go stop them from doing bad things. That's what, and Blade really inspired that. Blade and Spawn, seeing like these black figures, superheroes doing good.
Yeah.
And then believe it or not, my favorite superhero is Batman. Like I love Batman.
Okay.
Like he's a detective first. I love Sherlock Holmes. I love detective work. Like even at the beginning of it, Blade is like this guy solving problems, like detective work. I love that. So I guess all in a bunch, it'd be Blade, Batman, and Sherlock Holmes. Those are like the three fictional characters, like growing up as like a kid that I like, oh, this person is smart, they're educated, they're resourceful. People look towards this person for advice about any particular thing. What type of flower is good for this? What type of herb is good for that? Batman knows. He knows the elements.
Okay.
Like I love that resourcefulness. Like so Batman and Sherlock Holmes and then Blade for being so badass.
True.
And a vampire. Yeah.
Do you feel as though like you're in any way similar to any of those characters now?
I'm not a billionaire like Bruce Wayne.
No.
But I do feel like, and it's like a stick. It's more like I wouldn't say a ick, as what the girls are calling it now, a ick.
Okay.
It's like a problem that I have within myself where I feel like if I'm doing something, I have to be the person to, in my community of friends, family, where, oh, Gil's doing the thing. Like you had a situation with your camera, or my camera. So you had a situation with your camera that you were using, and you asked the question, hey, I'm having this situation. I was like, I got it. Don't worry. I'll be able to handle it. And it's like, that fills me. And even with my wife, when she has particular issues, either with her mom, with her vehicle, whatever the case is, she knows Gil knows this. Gil looked at this for 20 seconds. He already is obsessed with it. He knows everything about it. But that's my thing. I'm going to learn as much as I can about this series. I'm going to learn as much as I can about this computer, how to set everything up. So is that being resourceful? So then when I'm literally at the bottom of Bikini Bottom and somebody's in the surface says, hey, Gil, I'm trying to charge my phone and it's just not charging fast enough. Is it a Qi charger or is it like a fast charger? And also, what is the output of the power adapter that you're plugging in? Because that's going to dictate how fast you charge your phone. Oh, I had no idea. Thanks for telling me knowledge I'm going to forget in 20 seconds. But tell me what to buy. And I'll just send them an Amazon affiliate link. And so I try to be as resourceful as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. So I did want to ask, like, so when you were growing up in like middle school, high school, like, would you say that you were always like this kind of resourceful and like, were you like your friends would like come up, like ask you for?
Yeah. Ask me about video games that I never played. I would literally, cause I grew up super religious. I had no video game console until maybe I was like in high school. Really.
Okay. It's like 14, 15.
Like 14, 15. It was the first time I had like a video game console. But I understood video game mechanics because I would read Game Informer.
Oh, yeah.
So back in the day, I would have, or Game Informer and Nintendo Power. So the apartment that I lived in at the time, I would have Game Informer send free subscriptions to that address. Get the mail because we're not allowed to play video games or have anything demonic or satanic in the house. I grew up in a Haitian household.
But it was Seventh-day Adventist, right?
Yeah, Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah. So no gaming things at all. So I knew everything that was going on in the gaming community, how to play the games, the controller tendencies, and all that type of levels in the game. I would study it and read it. So then when my friends would ask me, hey, I'm having an issue with this level. What do you think? I was like, well, maybe did you try this? Did you try that? And then it'll come back the next day. That worked. Did you play it? I was like, no, I just figured that puzzle might work, And then I ended up getting a handheld console and started playing that. But it just, I love being the resourceful person. People having issues with computers, my teacher, get Guil down the hall. He's in performing arts, but get him to help fix his printer and solve it. And then I'm like, I'm not going to look at my teacher as she called me from another classroom and said, I don't know how to fix it. Let me just figure it out.
Okay.
And ever since then, that's how I've always been. And it's not like fake it till you make it. It's more so just be that person that person needs to figure it out. Don't tell me you need help with math. I'm not a mathematician. I would never do that. Gil, I need help solving this equation. Hey, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy.
Funny enough, I'm that person.
Yeah. Math?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not.
I remember one time in college, there was like this, I used to work at a restaurant, and there was like this regular girl that would come in, and she was like just kind of freaking out about like her math final. I think she was doing like algebra, like pre-calc or something. And so I was like, like during my lunch break, I could just like come and help you. And she was like, oh, okay. So she was doing like sine, cosine, tangent and stuff like that. And, she was like being confused, and I was like, helping her. I was like, yeah, if you do like the cosine and like, the sine is like kind of like the opposite in terms of the degrees. I can't remember. It's been like over 10 years at this point. And so it was one of those things. I was happy to help her, but I was like scared because I'm like, did I even help her correctly? Yeah. And so next time I saw her, she just looked like really like dejected, like sad, and just like, I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? She was just like, yeah, the math final was really, really hard, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh crap, like, did I did I give her like wrong information and she failed? She was like, oh no, I passed. Yeah. And like, thanks to you, I would have failed, but it was like, she like just passed.
Wow. That's tough.
Yeah. So if you need math, I'm probably not your girl anymore, actually, because I'm pretty sure I forgot most of that stuff. So aside from like reading magazines, what did you do after school?
Oh, like high school. I had no grades to actually to be part of the performing arts program. Excuse me, to actually be in the robotics team, to do anything that I really wanted to do. I was journal pop. I was always just skating by, passing through. But my presence was always in the robotics, in the computer department. So I'd be in those classes. I'll get enough grades. Like I think at the 11th grade year, I did everything I needed to graduate. I just needed like 1 or 2 credits. So my 11th grade year, I would literally just go to the robotics computer classes, go to the Photoshop design classes, and just hang out with the computer kids.
Oh.
And everybody, including there's this guy named Bob Calder. He's one of the computer teachers there at the time at the robotics department, computer department. I looked your name up. You're not in PA, performing arts. You're not in the technology classes. Like you're in general pop. How did you get in here? Like I thought you were like one of my students because you're always here. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just I love computers. I can't get the grades high enough to be in this class. So in my free time, I'll just fly in there. And then there's this thing called SECME, Science, Economics, I don't remember what it stands for anymore. SECME, SECME. And it's like a robotics team thing. I didn't have enough grades to even be a part of that, but what I did provide for them at the time in 2008 was a banner. I drew and painted a giant banner for the robotics team.
Okay.
And I did that. So I would do art paraphernalia, I guess, if that's even the right word for them, graphics and stuff. So that's what I did. And also I was in the wrestling team. Again, me being Guil, doing something different where it's like, people traditionally go for football. It's like, I can't really use my football skills when I want to beat somebody up. So I'd rather learn wrestling.
That's fair.
But, wait your turn. Like, no, we're going to wrestle.
I mean, football players, though, can, beat people's asses, though.
Can they?
Yeah.
I've beaten up a few football players.
Okay.
But it's everybody teach their own. Not saying that football players can't fight.
Right, yeah.
But I think with the practice of it all, football,
that's true, yeah.
For me, I've always had this mentality. One of my favorite anime characters is Kirito from, I can't even think of the name of the show. What's his name? Kirito. Anyway, he's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
He's a solo player. He loves playing games by himself. And one of the things that I've learned from watching that show is do it so that you can do it yourself. In wrestling, it's more so, it's a team sport in the sense of winning with points, but it's just you in that ring. It's just you and that opponent. So do it whenever you can to get yourself better, to defeat your opponent. And
did you get into a lot of fights?
Oh yeah, I did a lot.
Oh, why?
Because I'm Haitian.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is, and the thing is that it's not so apparent because if you're not growing up in Broward in the early '90s, you wouldn't know. But I've had people wait at my house, outside of my house, to fight me. I've fought at church. I fought at school. I would bring a knife to school.
You're right. Yeah, I remember you told me that.
So the thing that I started doing was at one point was just bringing a Bible because maybe that would avert the troubled hooligans. No, they don't care. I used to get spit at. I got stabbed. My brother got stabbed.
God.
So it was one of those things where it's people would see me and they're like, whoa, you must have a great upbringing. You're always happy. You're always doing a great thing. No, I grew up pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, it's part of life. Everybody fights or got into fights, high school, middle school. Yeah.
I've never actually gone to a fight.
Yeah?
I almost did, but I just kind of chickened out. Even though I probably could have kicked her ass, honestly.
One of my favorite anime characters has a quote, Kisame. He's one of the Akatsuki. He was Itachi's partner.
Oh, right. That was the fish dude, right?
Yeah, the shark dude.
Yeah.
He's like, we don't know who we are until we die.
Okay.
And I kind of combined that quote with Mike Tyson quote, which is everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So it's like, I don't think we know who we are until we get into the situation where it's you're pinned against you and another person or a group of other people, and they're your adverse. They're against you, and they want to cause physical harm, financial harm, economic harm, whatever the case is. They want to do you bad.
Yeah.
It's not until that moment, which is considered death to some degree because you can die potentially, that you know who you are. Either you're going to buckle under pressure or you're going to face it head on. And I've had multiple opportunities to run, but I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens. Yeah. And you can, most people can like brag about, I fought, I did this, I beat this person, but hey, it's between me and that person. And I've always respected that. And I've had fights with people that I would see in my adulthood. There's this guy, we fought all the time in middle school. And then one day, me and my wife went to a restaurant, and he just so happened to be there. And I'm like, yo, what's up? It's like, hey, what's up? We gave each other a hug. Man, you looking good. Oh, man, that's awesome. Dude, that's amazing to see you. Started chatting. Oh, this is my wife. Oh, man, it's good to see you. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, Guil's a great guy. And he left. And she was like, who's that? Oh, this guy we used to fight all the time. And like, in middle school, we fucking hated each other. I wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill me. And she's like, guys just like talk. It's like, yeah, we're men. Like we had to do that. There's so much going against us. Like when you grow up feeling you have societal pressure, you have situations, your parents at home, you're dealing with religious organizations pressuring you as a young man. Then you have testosterone going in. How could you not fault another young man at that age for like wanting to kill somebody?
I don't know.
I'm just joking.
I know. I'm like,
the last part was a joke.
I know, that's exaggeration.
Exaggeration.
But but okay. So
like again, I know some people are like, this kid only watches anime. One of my favorite animes is Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay. And Yusuke Urameshi, he's the main protagonist, and he's living in a situation where his mom's a single mother. She's an alcoholic. She was destined for stardom, whatever the case is, and she had a son. And at some point in time, it's kind of like implied that her downfall and everything else, her working full time is to take care of Yusuke. So now he doesn't have a father in the home. His mom is under pressure, drinking
like
all
a
the
drunk.
time,
Yeah,
like a drunk. And then he's a recluse. I don't have people. I started out with the cards that I'm dealt. The community doesn't really care for me. I'm just a thug. I'm just roaming around. There was a lot of use case that I grew up with growing up. So when I watched the anime, I'm like, that's why that kid had issues. That's why he wanted to fight me every single time he saw me. Like there's so many guys that I would get into it with physically and verbally, and they'll see me it'll just, they just want to fight.
Do you think, like, if you were Yusuke in this situation, you know how Yusuke dies trying to save the boy who would have been fine if Yusuke didn't even save him. But if, and to bring back Yusuke, like 3 people had to kiss him, it would have been his mom, just like on the mouth. What's the chick's name? Keiko. And then Kuwabara. Yeah. So your Kuwabara was pretty much like.
No, my Kuwabara, I would say, would be, I don't know. Anton would be my Kuwabara.
But like, did you guys get into fights? Because like Yusuke and Kuwabara like weren't friends. Like they were like enemies.
They were like enemies. Yeah. True. I guess he could. Maybe there's another guy. I don't want to name his name. I don't want to name nobody's name. Okay. But there's this other guy. He was the most popular kid at the middle school at the time, and me and him got into it all the time. And then he ended up becoming really into Dragon Ball Z. He'd bring action figures. Okay. He was like a handsome, like he could have been an actor. Okay. Like, he was freaking handsome kid. Okay. He was an asshole. He was evil. He was like demon possessed. But he played with action figures. Right. And his whole ideology was, I'm handsome, I'm smart, and I'm a badass. Y'all ain't gonna tell me I can't play with my toys. Okay. And like it was one of those things where I was like, all right, but he was an asshole. And we would fight all the time. And then I fast forward to maybe after I graduated, I was working at Kmart at the time. Shout out to Kmart. Yeah. This is like probably 2009. And he walks in there and he was shot in the leg, so he's like he's walking with a limp or whatever.
Oh God.
And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, good to see you. And it was the same love. We started talking. We started talking about anime. And his girl was so confused. Like, what are you doing talking to this dweeb? You're like a thug, and you're just so macho, and you're buckling under the pressure of this other guy who's confident in his nerddom, and he's open and talk about, hey, you still got those figures? Man, I got them in storage. And he was so happy to see me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I brought him back to that reason for like existing, like almost like he loves something so much
because he had the opportunity to like be himself.
Yeah,
whereas
like split second.
Because like if his girlfriend seemed like like where like you're supposed to be like this guy, this thug, and put on like this, I don't know, this
macho
like
bravado.
Yeah, I was just gonna say macho persona, bravado. Yeah, like, and then he actually is able to just take off that cover, that shell, and just able to just relax and expose himself. That's like. That must be nice because I'm sure he's unable to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are unfortunately in relationships, friendships, marriages, and they're not allowed to be themselves, and they're not allowed to be a nerd. And it just is very weird that you're with somebody and you're pretending. It must be exhausting.
Yeah. Your wife's not a nerd at all.
Oh yeah, she's a big nerd.
Oh really?
Yeah.
She is?
Big nerd, and like, I guess we could say like traditional nerd, because I feel like the nerd has like evolved. Nerd has kind of like evolved into or eclipsed into anime, video games, and all that stuff. But I remember nerd just being you're into like certain books, you watch certain media.
Yeah.
You watch Buffy, you watch Star Trek and Star Wars. Like I know a lot of my wife is a beautiful woman, but I also know a lot of other beautiful women, like friends, that are like big nerds. Like,
oh yeah.
I've had like one friend like curse me out because I said that I don't get the whole appeal of like Star Wars. And I'm looking at her like, you're a model. And she's like, I grew up watching Star Wars with my mom and my grandpa. Like we're Star Trekians. Like we're like all Trekkies. That. They speak key whatever that thing is.
Klingon,
yeah. Crips and Bloods, whatever that crap is. Like she's big into that. And then when you look at her outward appearance, you would never assume that. Even my wife, she's very she's into Buffy.
Yeah.
To the point where she's into vampires.
Okay.
To the point where we went to New Orleans twice in hopes that she meets a vampire. We went to Tacoma, Washington, once, which is there's a settlement there where
that's where like Twilight.
Yeah. So we went there.
I actually have the Twilight books. Like.
So we went there, and to like there's like the house that is like there's a physical house. We went to the house to see the house, and she's in love with all that stuff. So she's a nerd. And I remember getting her into anime. The first anime that I watched around her was Naruto. Well, at the time, Naruto manga was still being released on a weekly basis. And I was like, hey, manga just came out. And I was showing her, hey, I'm reading the manga online. And she's like, what is this? I don't get this. This is cartoons. Like, no, it's not. It's not Dragon Ball Z because it actually has stories. It's actually good. Not Dragon Ball Z. It's not. And she's like, okay. Got her watch Death Note, and she just fell in love with the story. She's just like, I've never consumed any form of media that is this contextual and like deep. Then we watch Code Geass, which was another series that she fell in love with. And, it's just been like a lot of stuff. Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Just a lot of things where you would never assume. But my whole thing is, and the problem that I have with, I know we're going to get into it later, but the problem that I have with a lot of incel men, or just nerd culture in general, is that a lot of men, or nerds, so to speak, are very to the point where everybody's judging me. Everybody thinks that I'm bad. Everybody thinks I'm this way. People, they think that people are judging them, but they judge people.
Oh, for sure,
They judge a woman for assuming that she's not into anime.
Just because she's hot.
Because she's hot.
Yeah.
She's not going to be into gaming. Like, dude, I've actually lived life, been to anime conventions where you walk in, and an issue, again, with incel culture is that it's more inward, it's more online, it's not outward.
Yeah.
I've been to anime conventions all around South Florida, Orlando, Gainesville, Miami, and it's nothing but attractive women.
That's
nothing, and
true,
then most of them are black.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are black
Yeah.
women who are just, obviously there for fun, but you
Yeah.
have some who are there for dating and having a good time. But a lot of these guys are like, she's into the same thing you're into. She's here.
She's hot.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Talk to her, see
Yeah.
what happens. But yeah, I know we're getting into that later, but that's what I wanted to say about the incel culture and just my wife in general. And just me being comfortable knowing that everybody takes a shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay.
And even hot people.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's like, what is there to really be afraid of?
Yeah. It's annoying when you hear, I think like DJ Khaled said something like he couldn't, I know he said something about like not wanting to go down on a woman.
Yeah.
And also I think like something about like she can't do like number 2 in his house or something, or like
I don't know that.
maybe it's somebody, I don't know, but I remember hearing something like that. And it's one of those things where it's like, dude, it's like a just normal bodily function. Like, how are you this old, like in your big age, and you still can't?
I know you said how can he be that old? My brain goes, how do you make that much money and think like that?
Oh, wow.
Just asinine. That's where my brain goes. Like anytime I see, if I'm doing, like, I just had a one-on-one consultation with a pretty successful person, and then they said something, and I was like, that's crazy. Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Do you remember what he said? Or she?
Yeah, I can't really say.
Oh, okay.
But it's just one of those ideologies where it's like, noted. That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you believe? And it's not like cringy, more so. It's just like different and just lackluster. Like, wow, that's very lacking of you.
Like he's like, this person just clearly hasn't been out.
Yeah.
And like,
like,
it's like
okay.
very ignorant.
Yeah, very ignorant. That's the word.
Yeah.
I see that. And then going back to the incel and just the nerds.
Yeah.
Like, I've always considered myself just Guil because I hate labels. Like, I'm wearing a shirt that's black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like labels.
Right. Yeah.
I hate
branding or any sort of,
and also hate when people like put you. Oh, you're all right. We need a black guy. Come here. Oh, you're a nerd. You probably don't know anything about like girls or mechanical stuff. Oh no, I know all that. Okay, cool. Yeah, but we want somebody that can be more like like, no. I'm going to check all the boxes that I know that I feel comfortable checking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like very like in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
And like you're very humble and like you're comfortable with yourself, which I say is definitely the thing. I did want to ask, because we were like speaking about like low moments and especially like growing up and everything, like being able to like empathize and understand with like your fellow classmates. So it kind of reminded me of this question. What was a defining low moment in your life and how did you overcome it?
Oh, that's a good one. Defining low moment. I guess it was in 7th grade when I was held back, and I always like kind of like parade it, like, oh yeah, I told the teacher I'm not doing anything until I get into the art program because I'm the boss. I know my life. You guys are going to do what I say. And then it was a low moment because at one point I got really, really excited because, well, they didn't listen to me. I'm a good kid, honor roll student way before that, no issues. And then I protest against the school because I felt like I need to be in this art program because I want to be an artist. That's what my dream and goal is. And it was a low moment because my family knew this, the teachers around me knew this, and the guidance counselor, all of them knew this, and they did nothing to help. And it was a low moment because it was like, oh wow, okay, I guess if I'm going to make sure that I want something, I got to make sure I'm in control of the situation myself. And it was like, damn, I'm in a 7th grade and I have to say, screw everybody. That was sad. It made me like really sad, like as a kid. And I think that's when I hit my, my villain arc. And I became a playboy, somebody that just hurts people. I didn't care because I was like, well, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares about me. So why should I care about them? And I just kind of took it out on family, friends, just people.
Really? How did you take it out on them?
I just was, because I couldn't really retaliate against the school because I didn't want to be held back again. Me retaliating would be, well, I'm not going to do anything again this year. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I got to progress. So I'm just going to not respect people, not going to listen to friends, not going to be as open as I am to my family. I'm just going to focus on me and just do that and work on myself. So from 7th grade that I repeated to like 8th grade, I just did only what I wanted to do. I didn't really care. I just did my schoolwork. I wasn't really involved with friends. Like previously, I was everywhere. I was like doing a lot of cool things. I was like, all right, I'm just going to focus on my school work and then just work on myself. Even though I'm in the 7th grade, what the hell I know about life?
But it's
like, here's to be smacked with this reality where it's like, nobody's here to save you. You just got to do it yourself.
Yeah, you know.
But I don't know. But it's like, damn, I want to play with my Beyblades, but I can't because I have to make sure that I take care of my grades. I take care of everything else, and everything else has come second. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I feel that. Like, that's insane that you came to that realization in 7th grade. I came to that when I was, I think it was 2015, because that was like the year it was like the first year I ever did like my New Year's resolution. And the New Year's resolution for that year was to give no fucks.
Yeah.
I was just over it because like I'm the youngest of 7. Mm-hmm. And like my parents were going through some crap. My older siblings, like my older brother was just being like crazy. And I just really came to the realization, I'm like, even though I think I was like in my early 20s. So I came to the realization that like, I gotta do things myself. Like I gotta stop caring about how other people feel, how like my other, family members, siblings or whatever feel. I just gotta work on and do things myself. Yeah. Like, it's a sad realization when you come to it, where it's like, like you don't have anyone coming to save you. Yeah. Like it sucks. Like, you really have to save yourself. It's a great, when I look back on it, I'm very happy and I'm proud. Mm-hmm. I started doing improv. I bought my home that year. I got like a really good job. Like, I just was just like working on myself. And also I was just like, I stopped caring about what I was saying. Yeah. And, like how other people may feel. I was like, you know what? This crap upset me. Let me go tell them. Yeah. Before I would just like, take it.
Take it in.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, also the guy I was dating was just a piece of shit too. And I was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
Yeah. I was like, I got to do me. I got to move out. I got to figure things out for myself. Like, it sucks, but looking back on it, like, I'm very happy and proud that I did that.
Yeah, look what happened.
Yeah.
You're able to do a lot. You've accomplished a lot.
Yeah. Like, it definitely catapulted me into it. So especially like with because my cousin had died like a year and a half prior to that. Mm-hmm. And he and I were the same age. Like, and I was...
There's like the thing too where it's like, there's like a balance. And some people will call it the far end of it would be like stoicism. Yeah. And I pretty much could tell you how stoicism almost got me a divorce. Yeah, because like I was so...
This was kind of recent,
This is like recent.
Yeah, but go on, yes.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to jump into stoicism. I hated Ryan Holiday for like the longest. I've had like a personal grudge against him for years. I don't know why. Yeah. Because he's my age and he's writing about life. You know Ryan Holiday?
Yeah, I do. I didn't know he was your age, though.
Yeah,
I didn't
like
know
37.
Really? Yeah. Oh, he looks older, though.
No, Ryan Holiday.
Yeah, he looks older, though.
Okay,
like, gotcha. I've seen him in interviews. He looks like he's like 45.
No, he's like my age. And the book that came out, I forget, Obstacle is the Way. I forget what it was called. I remember what it was. It was one of the books. And he had a interview with Charlemagne on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. Okay. Is it the Brilliant Idiots podcast? I think it was probably on the Breakfast Club. Okay. And this is probably around 2014, 2015. And because I was living in West Palm at the time. And I remember I'm visualizing the interview and as I'm listening to it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I bought his book. And at the time I was working at the warehouse and doing this physically intensive labor. And I'm reading the book and listening to an audiobook of it, and I fell so deep into Stoicism like years later, and I was just so head on to the point where I became so emotionless because it just kind of became a point where, all right, well, what is the point? I'm working hard. I have a side hustle. I, have friends. All right, well, I'm not gonna make time for my friends because it's kind of avails nothing.
Yeah.
They're not clients. I'm not making money from them. All right, hanging out with my wife. All right, I'm gonna hang out with you, but I'm gonna have my laptop here and I'm gonna be editing the whole time while we're watching your Gilmore Girls for the 18th time, 18th and a half. So it became a thing where I became so like calculated, and I loved it. It was so good. It's just purpose. What's the purpose?
Yeah.
Keep going. And then at one point my wife was like, you became so stoic. Like, it's like you became so, what's the point of this? I'm going to breathe 178 times a day. That's how much time I need to breathe to live. That type of mentality. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah, I just don't understand what happened. I was like, oh, we're reading all these books. They said this is the best thing to do. This is the best thing how to live, right? Like, to be stoic and to be a man, You drink black coffee, not anything sweet. Like, that's the mentality that I had. And it probably lasted like maybe a month. And my wife was like, yo, this shit is whack.
Yeah.
Like, stop. And I was like,
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to...
Because you're becoming a robot.
Yeah, I'm becoming a robot.
Yeah. It's great for production. You're correct.
Yeah, great for producing. Like, I was...
Everything else just falls...
Everything else falls apart.
Yeah.
Friendships, relationships. It was like the business, the goal, and then it's like make money. And it's like, I've had more money in my account at the time. I was like, this is great. I'm doing this. And I'm not spending time with friends. I'm not doing anything. It just became a thing where it's like, I'm going to work. I'm going to do my full-time job. I'm going to do my part-time job, work on my business, and just work. And then everything else was on the back burner. And that was not a way to live at all. Yeah. It's cute in theory.
Right.
Especially if you're single and you're young.
Yeah.
If you want to like get things going, maybe you might have to have some stoic practices. Am I stopping this whole stoic mentality? No, it's just everything in moderation. Like,
exactly.
So I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'm not going to listen to that or do this. I'm going to do this lightly. Like, I'm just starting back, taking a little bit in and not doing too much. And it's great. Yeah.
I do feel as though with a lot of like men's self-help things, like people, like Ryan Holiday, for example, I feel like even like Alex Hormozy, I think is
Alex Hormozy.
David Goggins, like they seem to be like very extreme in terms of like what they do. It's not like what they're doing is wrong or bad. Like, it will get you the results, but it's like, it just seems like very extreme. And I do definitely see that in like a lot of like guys, like self-help stuff. It's like, you gotta like, what's like the middle? What's like for the average person? Like what you
I don't think there is a middle with men. Like even today.
Really?
So I'm trying to get back on running. I've been running like every other day, like on a track.
Nice.
And I'm trying to get my time down. And then today I was like, all right, I'm going to run. I'm going to do my time. I was trying to beat my personal record from last week. And I'm running and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't eat anything today. I probably should like run to the thing, get a granola bar or water. No, keep going. And I'm like, oh.
That's like your voice in your
my
head.
Just keep going. I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. And
which isn't a bad thing to have in your head.
It's not.
It's
not. But then I know the difference.
Yeah.
I know the difference because it's like I did eat the night before. So it's like from when I woke up, which is at 10 a.m. till 12 o'clock, I hadn't eaten anything. So theoretically, I was like fasting and then working out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go as hard as I can on the track, run, beat my personal time, which I did by 8 seconds, which was great.
That's good.
So I'm like, all right, getting faster. But then I'm also going to go home and like eat a banana, not like kill myself. And That's what I was
Are you
doing.
Are you trying to like lose weight, or are you not really a morning eater?
I'm trying to lose weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to lose weight.
Okay.
A lot of weight. And
Okay.
it's not because obviously because losing weight you feel better, lighter, a little bit more energy to like do other stuff.
Yeah.
But I just was like, all right, let me get back to the weight that I was, because right now I'm at 287.
Really?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I know I don't.
No.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
Last week I was at 290. Yeah,
That's insane.
I know. People hate me. People are like, I'm 287. I look like this, and I'm like, I know. I'm sorry.
Oh my god! I
Yeah.
would have never.
I know.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
I thought when you said two, I thought you were gonna say like 220. I was like, okay.
No, that's 220 is the weight that I should be. That's what my doctor says. It should be 220.
How tall are you though? Like
6
6 foot?
6 foot, 5'11",
Okay.
plus 1. So, yeah, 6 foot.
5'11" plus 1.
Yeah.
That's what it says on his
5'12".
license. 5'11" plus 1.
5'12". But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My body's weird. So, because I remember one year I was like 300 pounds and I was like cycling every single day, and I got on a scale with the guys and the gals in the bike group. You're 300 and you just biked half a century, which is like
50 miles, right?
50 miles. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. They're like, how are you carrying all that weight? I'm like,
Is it
I don't know.
like, are you just like muscle? Like it's more like
I
muscle.
have no idea.
It's just
It's probably the beard. I have no idea. My wife is like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
like I know muscle weighs more than fat, and
Yeah.
like that's why I'm hoping that's why my scale hasn't been going down. I'm like, because like I'm like 180, 179, and I want to get down to like one in the 60s, 160s, whatever.
I'm just hoping to. What are you doing to work out?
I've been cycling more. I think I need to like start incorporating running, so I don't feel like cycling does much, even though I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I think so for me, the most weight that I've lost and the equipment that I've used to lose the most weight is a rowing machine,
Oh, I love the rowing machine.
because it's a whole
I
body
did,
workout.
yeah, I used it this morning when I went to the gym.
Yeah,
Only for like a couple of minutes because I had to get home and get all sorts of ready because I had to finish twisting my hair.
yeah.
But
But I
I
love
love the rowing
I
machine.
love
It's
the
my
rowing
favorite.
machine.
Yeah.
When I'm using a rowing machine, I'm listening to Viking music, and then I do because my brain goes, all right, we're in a zombie apocalypse, and I need to row to Haiti. How many meters it is to Haiti? So I have like, I'll Google how many meters and row 800 something meters, whatever the case is, and I'll just row until I die.
Is it like, do you have a rowing machine at home, or do you go to the gym for the
No,
rowing
I
machine?
want to. I want to
I
get
don't know.
one.
Like I've been like so on the fence because I don't want it to become, just like a waste of space in my
Yeah.
home. Like, because I think I would use it. Like I really feel like I would use this.
Yes, that's the thing. So like, I had a bike trainer that I used, and I lost a lot of weight with that.
Okay.
And me and my friend would go online and we would cycle with each other. It's called the program called Zwift.
Okay.
And we would be online and we're biking together. We beat our personal records, and I was losing weight like it was. People thought I had AIDS.
Oh,
Like, you good, bro? I'm like, no, I'm just healthy. What do you mean? I'm just healthy. And the thing is, I don't know if most men are like this, but I genuinely do not have any photos of when I had like my best weight. Like I do not have any photos. Like it's just so, and other people have photos of me. So like my homeboy send me, yo dog, I just seen this picture on my phone, dog. I'm like, whoa, snap.
Yeah.
I have like podcast where I'm just sitting down. Hey guys, welcome to my video. And I'm like, yeah, my face is a little bit small, but I don't have any like body images.
Right. Yeah.
And or like, with no shirt comparing like, but other guys, yeah, man, this is me earlier. I was like, I don't have that need. I just want to lose weight, not to look good, just to be healthy. Bless you.
Thank you. No, I feel you. I like years ago, like I got into the habit of taking photos after I go to the gym, and I haven't done it like much anymore. I did it today actually,
Yeah.
and I'd always send it to like my friend Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a low, you know, like it was like just like low accountability sort of
Yeah.
things. Like, hey, I went to the gym. He would send me, but it's like, hey, I went for a walk,
Yeah.
and you know, so like it was. I didn't think anything of it, but like, you know, looking at the photos
Yeah.
back, it's so helpful.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, so I highly recommend just like taking a selfie.
Do not send it to your male group chat, guys. This is for the men. Do not send it to your
Why
male
not?
group chat named a crazy name because we will roast you. The guy group chats are so different. Men are so different.
I mean, Jamie's a guy, but it's just me and him. Yeah.
Him and like another group chat with 2 other guys. Trust me, we're roasting each other. It's the best. It's the best positive reinforcement ever. Toxic but positive.
I mean, okay. If it works.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. I know it's like, yeah, definitely guys like just like roast the hell out of each other. It's so different than like women relationships. Even though like I feel like sometimes it would be nice to just like get a little bit of like just like critical roasting, not necessarily like just shitting on me, but like critical roasting. And also I do think that like men do need some like just a little bit of positivity, but
this is a safe podcast. I almost group chat. I may have made a comment I would make in my group chat with guys. Okay. I'm not gonna do that.
No,
No, I can't. I have an image to uphold. People are going. I have clients watching this. I can't.
I could just delete the part.
No, I don't want you to work.
Okay,
but my whole thing is like, most men that I know, we love each other. Like I have guys that I can call. Hey man, I love you, bro. My friend.
That's good.
You know,
yeah.
I had a friend who just recently passed.
Yeah.
Told him I love him. You know, let him know that love was there, and we still roast each other.
That's good.
Because it's like,
yeah.
What do you want to say? Yeah, bro, I see that retrograde is doing you good, my brother.
That's
I see that,
not what I'm talking about.
I don't know what women group chats are like. I don't know. I don't have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, like, I have a friend who, like, tells me, like, what, like, just, like, her and her group chats are like, and, it can be pretty roasty, too, so it's kind of funny. Yeah. So I'm happy for her, because, should I say she needs that? I feel like that's mean. But they're her friends. Okay. So. Yeah. Let's see. Like, I do want to ask this question. Where is it? Oh, what were some of like your cringy beliefs and what made you let them go?
Cringy beliefs.
Yeah.
I would say, like, I was looking at the question that's the one, honest to God, was the one that stumped me the most. Cause I was like, I don't want to say I don't have any cringy beliefs, but I do want to go back to, and I'm not going to like, and I don't want to speak ill of anybody's religious belief, but when I was in the Seventh-day Adventist organization, I really felt as if we all in the organization were like the only saved ones.
That's cringy.
So it's cringy. Yeah, I know. That's like and then I've let it go because I don't necessarily like believe that. So, but for a very long time, and the thing is, that's not everybody in the organization. It's just that was just my experience, how I felt, and that's why I have to like specify all the time too. Because when I've gone on other people's platforms, and I've had people who were in the organization with me at the time, and who still are. They're like, man, you're always like spitting on us. You're always calling it a cult. And I was like, well, that's just my experience. That's just how it was. Maybe you were lucky and you had to go to Legoland when you were a kid. I couldn't. I had to make my own Legos from sand, you know? I'm joking.
Okay. I was like, it's like that. I was like, how did you do that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that was just my experience. So when I speak on it, I don't want people to, oh wow, he really hates this organization. I really don't.
Right.
It has been a positive reinforcement. The best thing that's come out of the Seventh-day Adventist community is my wife, because I met her there while I was preaching, and she was the best thing ever that came out of that. So
when you were preaching, like, was it like she was just like in the pews? Like,
she was just in the church at the time. I was like a youth leader.
Yeah.
And I would go to different churches. Like I would travel and preach at different churches. I used to get paid to speak.
Oh.
I'm a paid speaker. I
Yeah.
used to get paid to speak.
Hell yeah.
When I was a freaking 17-year-old, just going to different churches. I've been to Naples. I've been to several other, what was that? Kentucky. I've been to other places to preach. And my girlfriend at the time, she was there. And I was also heavily involved. Like I would take my community in my church and like do game nights. I on record am the first person at my church growing up to host a game night. So right when I was in maybe like right after high school, I created a organization and we made game nights. So we would raise funds for field trips and stuff like that. So I'd bring my Nintendo Wii that I bought at the time, Nintendo 64. I'll borrow game cubes from friends and I'll have the kids at the church play. And it was okayed by our pastor at the time. So she saw that I was very like community driven or do an organization. When TPS came out, when Obama was here, temporary protective status for a lot of Haitians.
Okay.
I was in the humanes department at my church and I would get these people Obama phones. I'll get these people health insurance. I would get these people all the things that they need. And my wife was like, this kid is like really like resourceful. Like people are looking to him for, guidance, information. And we just started dating and it was great. But that, again, the organization that I grew up in has taught me a lot about people. It's taught me a lot about becoming a part of a group, a community, understanding people's strengths and weaknesses, understanding like who to lean on, understanding like how to look at somebody objectively, like, oh, that's not a bad person. They just probably going through a bad time.
Yeah.
Forgiveness and all that. So like it helped me just not fault people for being people.
Do you feel as though, do you feel as though this was for any gender, or was it like for like not faulting people, or do you feel as though because like I feel like this is just not necessarily just religious, just like in general, like societally, I feel like men definitely get the benefit of the doubt more so than women, Black women especially.
I was gonna say I don't really forgive men as much. I'm more forgiving towards women.
Really?
Like I just kind of like, all right, well, she's going through a bad break or she's going through something. More as guys, because I can't see myself as a woman, so I can't necessarily think how you would think about a scenario.
Okay.
But as a guy, I'm like I've talked to guys and they'll tell me, well, I just don't have it in me today to go to work. I was like, what is wrong with you?
Ooh.
Like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I just feel tired. Like, what do you mean? And it's not being like stoic, or it's more so like, but you're like me.
Yeah.
You have the same anatomy, if not more. You have the same brain capacity. You can do this. You have testosterone. You have will. Do it.
Why like brain capacity?
Huh?
I'm
not smart. That's what I meant.
Oh.
I'm not smart. I can't do math. Like I say ax instead of ask. Like I'm pretty bad.
I mean, a
like,
lot of people
speak
do that.
2 languages, so forgive me. But yeah, so I look at people like, especially men. I was like, come on, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Like you're married, you have a wife, you have a kid, you have a home, you have a business, or not even a business. You have a work, you have friends, you have responsibility. Tighten up. What is wrong with you? But that's just me.
Yeah.
And
do you feel as though like maybe like you have like an understanding now, or do you still feel the same way? Like, do you feel like, okay, he might just be depressed, or like life could just really be getting to him?
I want to say yes for the cameras and for the microphone. I want to say yes, but it's like I say yes, and then like I just can't help but feel resentment towards that guy.
Really?
I can't help it.
Okay.
Like it's just like you're putting your family at risk for catastrophe, because if you know when you're together, if you're a couple, if you're dating somebody, and then the guy's just mood is like all over the place, you're scared. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen with this guy. Is he gonna off himself? Is he gonna hurt him? Is he gonna hurt you? He's gonna say something that's offensive. He's going to do something that's offensive, and he might put you and your relationship at risk, and you're wasting everybody's time. And I know I can't say that women don't do that, but again, going back to my previous point, I'm not a woman. I can't think like a woman. So I can't say, well, a girl a woman can't do that, or a girl could do that, woman can't do that, or a young girl can do that, or a young guy can't do that. I only know what a young guy can do because I was a young guy. I was a little boy. I was a young man. I'm a man now. I'm still pretty young. So I know through all my arcs and stories what I have been capable of, what I have confronted. And so then when I see a young man younger than me or a little older going to the same atrocities that I've gone through, and they're like complaining, it's like, but dude, yeah, so and so did it, I did it, like, what's wrong with you? And again, somebody would say, well, everybody's depressed. Well, I get depressed too. I wanted to kill myself in the 7th grade. You know, so it's like everybody goes through stuff, and then it's like, okay, I get it, everybody's brain capacity, again, some people might have chemical imbalancement, they might be depressed.
They
literally might be depressed. Like, I have a friend of mine who helped me see depression and understand it in a way that I never could, but she's a woman. And it's like,
it's still the same. It is the
I know,
same
but it's
thing.
like, okay, well, I've never met a male who told me he was depressed. And then I could say that I was depressed about something, like, but was I depressed, or was I just sad about this thing, or sad about a scenario or situation? And it's not about being sexist and not saying that men are stronger than men. Men are stronger than women. Never that, because I know a lot of strong women. I know not even like a fact, not even like a thing where I'm pandering, but I know more women that own businesses than men, and they're all black. I know nothing but black business owners, and they're all women, all of them.
Yeah.
So when I see that, and then I see what I'm trying to build, what I'm trying to do as a black man, and I see black men who, or just men in general, who aren't doing anything to progress themselves or progress their friends or family around them, and I see nothing but black women progressing, giving me opportunities, blessing me and my wife and my family and friends. I was like, well, what the heck's wrong with these guys? Are they all depressed?
Do you think that there's just like a lack of resourcefulness or opportunities that
I don't
men
know.
are, like, when you, like, do you have these conversations with men? Like
I do.
Are there
And
some that
aggravated.
Do they also notice this with other men?
I see it all the time.
And when you converse, like, what do you guys talk about?
Hey, why don't you own a home yet? Oh, I just started a program. I just got a program. I'm in the housing program. You don't need a housing program. You can go through it this way. Find a realtor. Hey, what's your credit score? I'm just trying to get my crap up, but you just bought like a PS5 and a home entertainment system, or they just bought a new truck, or a new car, and you're like, dude, why did you buy a new 4Runner, paying $900 a month? Well, I wanted it. But we told you not to. You're 24 years old. These are real conversations that I've had with male counterparts or male friends. Not even friends, more acquaintance.
Gotcha.
And it's like, you're buying this vehicle because you want to seem like the cool guy that you have money, but you don't. You're putting yourself upside down.
Yeah.
So then when you let the car go because you can't afford $900 a month,
right? Yeah.
And you get back into a Toyota Corolla, you're asking yourself, well, now I got to pay $900 a month for a Toyota Corolla because I owed on the 4Runner. And I'm like, but why did you do that? Oh, because I wanted to look cool.
Like, they literally said that?
Yeah. I wanted it. And it's like when I speak to a lot of my friends that are women, I had one of my friends, beautiful, amazing, talented Sandy. She's like, I'm going to leave this job and I'm going to go to a boot camp for like 6 months. And I'm going to hustle and bustle, buckle down, stay with my sister. I think she was working part-time, did a coding boot camp, finished that, got the certs, moved to Atlanta, worked with the CDC, found another tech company. And it's just like, well, why can't my guy friends do that? Some of them. A lot of them are doing great things.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like the acquaintances that I have that are men who are, black, brown, who are just doing things because I don't know why they do things. They're just doing it backwards. And when I tell them, when they're like, well, you had it, you were lucky. I was like, I didn't have luck. I wish I did. I had to work for everything that I have. And I know we're straying from the question, but
I mean, like, that is pretty like messed up that they just say, oh, you're just lucky.
Yeah,
Like
I hear it all the time.
that's kind of a crazy like because like that's just what they're thinking about like walking around.
So there's this guy who's a friend of a friend, and he saw me the other day, and I was like, man, I just uttered that I'm exhausted. So yeah, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you tired? You're young. You would work at Publix. That's all you do. I was like, oh. And then I just like, yeah, I guess. And then
when you do other things,
I didn't bring it up.
Was okay.
There's no point.
Yeah.
It will avail nothing because the thing is, a lot of people, they just have these prerequisites in their minds or prejudgment about certain guys, especially like black men.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll see a black guy. Oh, you just work here. That's all you do. Like, yeah, I guess.
Like you're an NPC character in Pokemon or something.
Character. Yeah. And then a friend of mine spoke up. Oh, nah, you don't know Guil. Guil does a lot.
Yeah.
And he's like, what does he do? Because he just works here. How long you been here? I was like, oh, I've been here for like a lot of years.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was he was like, oh, I didn't know you do all that. I was like, yeah. It's
just the fact that he just accused you of that and just painted it's like
put it out
like
there.
A very like you're just this one-dimensional person.
Yeah.
And like
and to call back the incels that would look at black women and like, well, she has all this on her. She's ghetto and loud,
like tattoos or something.
So she's not into anime. She's gonna reject me anyway. So, and when he said that, I was like, well, anything that I do, I would be trying to sell myself, and then I only sell myself to clients who pay me $200 an hour for my consultations. You don't like me already, so what's the point? What is the point of me telling you what I do? It's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, because you also don't really want that energy and that type of people around you. Anyway.
I don't.
Because it's
like,
it's like, you're this. It's like, oh, I actually have a friend who would like to. It's like, I don't want to meet your friend now.
I don't want to meet your friend. And, and I guess that's like one of the things that I want to say I battle. Because I only battle Pokemon cards. But I don't battle anything. But it's like one of the things that I do battle. And my wife says this all the time. She's like, people look at you and they just have check marks of what you do. And then I speak. And then they see what I do, and they're like, what the freak?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is interesting. I'm going to have to look out for this guy because I don't know what else he can do. And it's like very scary. So if I try to do anything and my other talents soar, I got a friend of mine, Kamal, he was at the photo walk. He was like, he said something the other day. He was like, I posted like a food. I was at Pilar. It's called Pilar. I don't know why I called it Pillar a couple times.
It's Pilar?
Yeah, so it's Pilar.
Okay.
I took some photos of like I think it was like a squared egg and on like a avocado toast.
Okay.
I made a post about it. I was like, this is the first time I'm having avocado. I think you commented.
That was your first time having avocado toast.
So
yeah.
He was like, wait, I think he called me. Hey. I'm like, hey, what's up? You took that? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm at the coffee shop. What's up? You took that photo. So you know how to take photos of food? What the hell can't you do? And it just was like, it was more love and endearing.
Yeah.
But it's like that. You get that type of love.
Awesome.
You get that type of love and admiration, and then you get people like my friend's friend who's like, oh, you don't do anything. And then when I do it, they're like, whatever, I guess.
Oh yeah, they try to like
don't really care.
Like they just try to diminish it.
Again, what was the point of me trying to prove myself to someone who obviously is not going to invest their time to look me up or do anything? Like, it doesn't avail anything.
Yeah, like it's very aggravating and annoying when people just project something onto you and then like they never try to deviate from that, or if they deviate, they get upset or they try to diminish it or think it's like not that big of a deal. It's like, no, you just suck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius, not an anime character. First time I'm quoting a person who's real.
Yeah.
He said something about I forgot how it goes, but I forget the exact quote. But it's like, just let things be. Like, you don't have to like force anything. If things are going to happen, and it's like probably the most metaphysics, scientifical thing that he ever said, but that was not concrete. So just let things happen. If people want to rock with you, they rock with you. If they don't, it's not your job to like force their hand. Just let it be.
No, it's true. I did want to kind of go back to that 24-year-old who bought the truck. Do you think that he's just doing that because he's 24? Like, can you really fault him?
No, I can't fault him.
Are there people who are older
You were
that
24.
are doing? I was, and I bought my home.
Yeah, and I was 24, and I was in the process of buying my home.
Yeah.
I was 24, and I allocated a lot of my funds to help me now. Like 24 Gil is making sure that 37-year-old Gil is in a better predicament that he is in. I made sure that I got my wife into situations that we can be better at 24. And it's like when I hear people say, but I'm 24, I can do stupid stuff. Like, really? Do you think you have the next 10 years to make up for that mistake? That mistake is going to last him for the next 10 years. He's going to be 34, still paying off that stupid truck.
That's true.
And it's like, I'm so serious now because it's like, if I didn't tell him that, if I just let him like sink and drown, I wouldn't be this passionate and annoyed. But I would literally tell him not to. And then he came around the block and he's like, yo, just got the 4Runner, bro. And I was like, okay, great. Good for you. I'm happy. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it in white. It's Stormtrooper color. You're a Star Wars fan. That's beautiful. But like, what are you going to do to ensure that you get this vehicle covered? Because your 9 to 5 probably can't cover that all the way. You have to probably do like 2 weeks. They gave him a plan of I think the first 3 months he doesn't have to pay. I think it's like first 4 months you don't have to pay. I was like, dude,
that's how they get you.
These 4 months, you need to start saving.
Right, yeah.
You need to start saving these 4 months. You know, if you gotta like do Uber, what? I'm not doing Uber in this, so I don't want to add any miles. I was like, oh, did you lease it, or like do you have a limit on how many miles? No, I just want to. It's brand new. I'm the first owner. I gotta make sure that. I was like, oh God. I was like, this is an asset. This is a tool, and you need to use it. Like a lot of photographers have this ideology of, I'm gonna baby this camera, I'm gonna baby this lens, and keep this here and keep it protected. Like it's a tool. It's meant to be used.
That's true. Yeah.
And like there's this term about breaking in a car. Like if you just baby it, that's sometimes worse than just driving it.
Especially a truck. You're not supposed to baby a truck. It's supposed to be like you said, it's a tool. You're supposed to use a truck.
Yeah.
So it always baffles me when people, this whole like truck obsession with certain people.
I see the truck obsession, and then these trucks are so clean and pristine.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is like a utility. Like there's a sport utility vehicle, SUV, but a truck is specifically a utility.
Yeah.
Like it's a tool. Like you are supposed to put your wife's, wardrobes that she finds on OfferUp. That's what you're supposed to put on there. You're supposed to put mattresses. You're supposed to put all these other things in there.
Yeah.
And then if you're like a content creator, you find ways to make your life easy so you don't have to like load stuff. You put a rack on there, you put a toolbox.
Yeah. Like
and
the truck is supposed to be a workhorse.
It's a workhorse.
Yeah.
And then it's like
then they're trying to make it super clean. Like
super
that
clean.
That,
and then it's like I have a workhorse truck. I have a Toyota Tacoma. It's a 2020 and it's a 4-cylinder. People are so baffled. You have a 4-cylinder? That's not a truck. Like I'm not loading or hauling anything.
Right, yeah.
I'm literally just driving to Miami to film people talk about podcast. Like people podcasting.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing, but I'm not loading pallets of like lumber or coal or whatever the case is.
Unless you live in like, I don't know, on a farm, but even still, the truck would be on the farm.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, And like earlier today, I saw a Corvette, and I just have to say that, no matter how nice or whatever you do with a truck, especially for like that 24-year-old, nothing's sexier than a sports car.
Yeah. So when I was 24, I had around that time, I had a 2-door Hyundai Tiburon. Okay. And it was the Tiburon edition, not the Hyundai. So it had like the T. So if people who are uninformed, they'll think that it had like a Testarossa or something. Like, oh my gosh, this guy has money. It's like a Testarossa. No, it's a Hyundai. They just don't know.
But they're sexy cars too. They're really pretty. Yeah.
I love that car.
Yeah.
That was like, so every vehicle that I ever owned, except my first one, which is a 1995 Ford Export, whatever. I've wanted, and I did research on it. I loved it. My Hyundai Tiburon was a 5-speed manual transmission. Okay. I put an exhaust on there. I had an air intake. I love the sound of that car. It was a 4-cylinder. It wasn't rear-wheel drive. It was front-wheel. I would say that was like the only drawback to it. But then again, at the time of me being young and stupid, thank God it wasn't rear-wheel, because I'd be in a lot of accidents. That car wasn't fast, but it was fast, you know? It was
True.
super low.
And when it's like a rear wheel, like that makes you like
Yeah,
kind of spin out,
exactly.
right?
If you're
Yeah.
not experienced. And
Yeah.
at the time, I would say that, yeah, I'm experienced. I could handle that. I probably wasn't. But even my Tacoma now, I wanted to make sure I get a vehicle that has fuel efficient, that has all the tech that I need, rear camera, Apple CarPlay. Even though it's not wireless, I still have to plug in, but it
Okay.
has everything that I need.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable enough for my wife to drive it.
Okay.
Like we carpool all the time. So if she's in need for the truck to, help her mom out, whatever the case is, she'll be able to take the vehicle, drive wherever she needs to drive, and do what she needs to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so
No, that's what's up. Sort of going back to like the 24-year-old. I guess he's obviously the truck is obviously going to be a mistake. Once
no, it's gone. They had to turn it in and got a Corolla.
Oh right, yeah,
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Like what is it like? What was like a cringy masculine thing that you did as a kid?
Cringy masculine.
Like, because I feel like the truck, for example, with that
I
guy.
hated trucks growing up.
No, but like
Yeah.
him, like for that guy, like that's probably like
Gotcha.
this cringy thing that he's like, oh, to show off his masculinity. Maybe not as a kid, but just even.
Talking to as many girls as I can. That was just probably just for why.
Like, what were you trying to get?
Oh, just talking to as many girls as I can at the school.
Like, just
and
like to get their number
today,
yeah.
get their number. Talking to as many girls. Like it was just a stupid thing in like high school or middle school, and yeah, it just was weird. It was just kind of like it was cool, the idea of it, and then I really didn't do anything. I didn't really care. I wasn't stoic at the time, but it was just doing it like, all right, cool. I'm talking to this girl. We're going out this weekend. All right, so I'm going to go on a date with this girl. Go on a date with that girl. Okay, me and this girl were dating, but we're not really serious to me. So I could talk to this girl. Yeah, it was like very cringy. Yeah.
Like, were you talking to your guy friends about this too? It's like, oh, I'm dating all these girls and stuff like that, or was it just for you?
I think it was more so for the guys because we all were like, oh, Gil's talking to this person. But also when I would date people, I wouldn't want people to know because it's more of a thing where people would project energy towards that person. And then, or maybe people will see that person like, oh, you dating Gil? Oh, you little Gil. Or say something that kind of like, so I didn't want that to happen. And yeah, it was very cringy. Yeah. Just weird.
I feel like that's just kind of what, especially down here in Broward, like I feel like that's just like what guys did. They just like were always trying to talk to as many girls as they want. Like guys were girl crazy and girls were guy crazy.
Say that again?
Guys were girl crazy and girls were guy crazy.
Okay, yeah. I guess. Yeah. It is just a weird thing.
Yeah.
The best thing I got out of it was knowing that women are just like men. Just talk, just conversate. Women are just regular people. The ideology of men are from Mars, women are from Venus is a really good marketing tactic, but we're all the same.
Yeah, we're more similar than different.
Yeah. So I'd be having conversations with, either the hottest girl at work at the time when I was working at Kmart, and then all the guys at the counter, oh my gosh, you're talking to so-and-so. What y'all talking about? Oh, it's talking about, Naruto. She's this hot chick and she loves Naruto. What's Naruto, bro? It's an anime. Like I forgot what I had. I think I had like a kunai keychain, whatever the case is. And she was like, I like your kunai. She made a pass at me, and my brain goes, okay, opportunity's open. You don't got to be scared of her, and speak to her. And we were really, really cool. And everybody was just like, can't believe you're actually cool with the hot chick at Kmart, and you guys talk for hours. Yeah, it was crazy.
Were you scared of her?
No, it was more so like, again, I was working at Kmart and I was in high school, and she was a lot older. So it was like, okay, I'm a high school kid. She is a grown woman with like 3 kids.
Oh, okay.
And there's no way we have anything in common. And then we just so happen to like the same anime, and then end up liking a lot of different stuff. Then end up finding out that we're more similar than different. Yeah. But I was like, there's no way I'm gonna date her. But hey, I was young and dumb. Yeah.
Okay. So like you weren't necessarily like afraid of her. It was just more so that like
Not sure if there could even be a conversation to
gotcha.
be had.
Yeah, because she was much older and like, you're like
much
16,
older.
17.
So I was probably like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And she was probably like in her like mid 20s. And I was like, we're having like conversations, and I was like, that's crazy. We're having a cutesy, flirty conversation here, and you're like an adult.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, well, she really shouldn't have been like flirting.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Looking back at it now, I was like, wow, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And like the other coworkers were like, yo, you're tough. Because I've always heard, I've spoken to like so many guys who've had, I mean, granted, you didn't sleep with her.
No.
But like, I've had guy friends and guys who are just like always have this exact same sort of story where it's like, oh, there was like this super hot girl and all the guys wanted to sleep with her. And so she was just, not wanting to deal with anybody. But like, I got to sleep with her because I was just cool with her at first and we were friends and stuff. I don't know what I did. Yeah. It's like, you just explained what you did. Yeah, you treated her like a person at first.
And that's what I think like would have happened. But obviously she was like we weren't, because obviously I'm not saying her name, but we were very like flirty a lot, physical and jokey and all that stuff. But thinking back at it now, if I was probably a little older, probably like 18 or 19, yeah, we probably would have like, went further. But for sure, all the guys at work were very more like, because I had a beard. I think I've always had like a beard. I actually lied to you about the cringiest thing that I had. Oh. The cringiest thing that I had was a line beard.
Oh, yeah, that's cringy.
That was so bad. Like, it was so bad. I just didn't understand why people had that.
I know.
Yeah, it just was so. And the thing is, like, you're fighting it just is so weird. I don't know why people were doing it, so I did it. But anyways, that was like the cringiest thing. And I think back at it. But I had like a full beard, and I've had a facial hair ever since I was in the 7th grade. So it's like shaving it, being embarrassed, and then hearing people like, I actually like your beard. It's nice. Oh, snap. Okay. Girls like men that look older. Cool. And then me working at Kmart, a minor, unloading trailers of washers and dryers, Kmart, at 16 years old for $6.25 an hour,
that's some crazy work.
Which
honestly.
is child labor laws.
Right, like you're loading washers and dryers.
Yeah.
Dang.
So when Kmart had its Sears merger around this time, like they were like loading washers and dryers at the store.
Okay.
And, I was one of the people that was in charge of that, and it just was like, what the heck is going on? So, yeah, child labor laws.
Yeah. Did she know your age?
Yeah, she knew.
Okay. Yeah. Girl. Oh. Do you keep in contact with her? Do you know what she's doing?
No.
Okay.
That's kind of. Last time I checked, she was still hot. I was like, okay. I see why she has now 4 kids. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's always funny when like the gross internet culture, like incels and just that adjacent, where they're saying like, oh, like women after 30, like that's when they hit their wall or something and they become.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I've always been attracted to older women. Anyways, so it was like, my wife is older than me.
By not much, right?
Huh? No. A little bit. No, not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still older.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah. So I've always liked older women, and just, I don't know. Pretty much my thing, I guess. Redhead and older women. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
You've did you mainly date black women, or?
I've dated white girls, Dominican. I've dated Dominican who looked like Angelina Jolie.
Nice.
But was gothic.
Nice.
A thick Latina.
Okay, that's.
So she was I dated that, and then dated that. That's the thing.
Yeah, dated her.
Dated her, and I've dated black, a lot of Haitian women.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, my wife is my first official Haitian woman that I've dated. Everybody else was just more like, we're just out together, just doing a thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And my wife is the first Haitian I married.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also the first person.
Yeah,
you married.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I had, and I could say this, my friend who passed, me and him, we love black women.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be like, oh, dude, look at this person. Like, she's not like sex pages, but like celebrities. Like, look at so I can't even think of celebrity, right? No. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like more so like 90s fine, like
Tyra Banks or Naomi Campbell.
No, I was thinking her name. Lanai Lathan? I can't remember.
Sanaa Lathan.
Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah,
so we're
Sanaa
talking about
Lathan,
that. Like,
she's
there's this
gorgeous,
movie that came out. The movie was The Holiday. It was like a remake.
Oh, Best Man Holiday?
Best Man Holiday.
Yeah.
It was a remake that came out like 2 years ago
Yeah.
around December. And we watched it. And me and my wife, we watched it. And my homeboy, we watched it. And it's like, bro, them girls are still fine.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I was like, we were just talking about that. And
men fine too.
we just love black women. It's
Yeah.
just our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just great to have, like, even the group chats that I have now, and a lot of people would be like, oh, you guys are just sharing like OnlyFans account. Like, no, we're literally just saying, yo, look at this woman, she's beautiful. And then you're like, yeah, she's like this OnlyFans girl. No, it's probably like a Nora Smith almost adjacent trad wife type. Not trad wife specifically, but like somebody you would, oh wow, this woman is dressed modestly and she has great skin and hair. Cool. But the typical stereotype is, yeah, you guys like big booties, sloppy, loud, and obnoxious stripper girls. If that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what most people will assume.
Oh, when you say like black women?
No, yeah, when you say like a black woman, that's what some guys, because that's what some guys are into.
True. Yeah, it's like, I guess like when you say like in a group chat, if you're saying you're into black women, is that like, and like a lot of the men in the group chat aren't black, they're going to assume.
Yeah,
that,
I mean, but I don't think I have a group chat with the group chat that I'm in, several group chats that I'm in. I think it's, wow, I don't have a group chat with a white guy.
Oh?
I don't.
Are you in the market for white friends?
I think I am. No, I'm not. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm not a problem. I mean, I could have. No, that's cool. I'm welcoming. Everybody can be my friend. I have all types of friends. You know, my neighbor's white, right? No, but
I let him live there.
And right, I let him live there. So, but I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I have a group chat or anybody in the group chat that I'm in that's white
or just non-black.
Oh, because one of my best friends is Dominican. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in several of my group chats, and I have a group chat with like 3 of my other closest friends. 2 of them are brothers. They're both Dominican, and the other one he's like, I think he's like a black Cuban, and the other one is just like a black guy.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's Jamaican. So yeah. Then I have like a group chat with women. Like the group chats that I have with women is always just probably this one woman in there, and then like 2 other guys who are like close friends with us, and we share like memes and stuff. I'm in a group chat with you, and Aisha
and Tatiana.
Tatiana. I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm in like several group chats,
Gotcha.
but even I don't consider the photography walk a group chat. Is more so like a community. And there's some white guys in there, I think. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I was like,
I'm already canceled, so it's okay.
You cancel before you get started?
Yeah, you canceled before I got started.
You come to the right place. I'm bringing all the canceled men onto the
Right?
podcast.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. You kind of mentioned... you kind of talked about this a bit when, like, in 7th grade, but so let me just say the question. A negative, impactful moment that changed you for the better?
The 7th grade one was good too, but there's like a lot of times, like I've had like recent client work that just failed, I mean, and it's like, okay, well, I know to say no to that next time, or say no to this particular type of project because I know that I can't physically do it. And the thing is, a lot of times I would try to will myself into a thing, like I could do that, and it's like not because of the money, it's more so like I can do it, especially stoic Gil. I can do it, but then like I don't have the time to allocate for that. I don't have the energy to allocate for that. I don't have the time. And it's like I could sacrifice a few things here and there, but then at the same time, I'm going to like disrespect the client's time and money because I want to try to do this thing and share it with the world. So the seventh grade thing was also a great important moment, but it's more so like a couple of years ago, I had a client and it just was like, he was demanding a lot of stuff that I said yes to. I said yes. And then when the time came for me to do them and for him to pay me, it was like a difference. Or like, oh no, well, we're gonna, you kind of agreed to like do this as like a passion project. And I was like, yeah, I agreed for you to pay me first.
Yeah, you
And
can't
then,
really,
yeah. So it
you
was
know,
like,
buy things with passion.
but then it's like at the same time, I did kind of agree to that verbally, where I was like, pay me first, and then we'll see where we go. And then he kind of refused to pay me, and I was like, yeah. Before I do anything, because I took full blame. I was like, all right, well, I did agree to that. So next time I'm doing anything, I'm just going to like make them sign the contract, make them sign the invoice, and if I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
And it's just like I've been invited to several podcasts, and I said no.
Okay.
Like I'm not interested. I've been invited to, except you know, but you know, I've been invited to like to produce lots of different podcasts. Like I would produce a couple of podcasts that were not in alignment with what I'm trying to do or succeed and or trying to be. Like it doesn't reflect me. And I would do them, and it just didn't avail to anything other than like, you know, mics being broken, my time being wasted, people disrespecting me, getting contact high, and then me just editing on the computer. Like what is the purpose of this? So it's like, that's what I learned. Just to say no. All in all is say no. And it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
Because it's like I have this people pleasing gene.
You do.
I can't help, but it's like I gotta please people. I gotta make people's day. Being resourceful, I gotta help them out. But lately, especially with client work, I've just said no.
Is there anyone who's like that to you, like a kind of just how like that? I don't want to say pleases you, but
like something like who's reciprocal to that?
I guess so.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, my wife helps, but she's like, that's, you know, what do you mean? In what way? Like content creating or?
I guess so. 'Cause I feel like you're everything to everybody, but like, is there, what are you doing to, I guess, feel like the reciprocation, like, or who does that? Or like, what is it that you do to kind of just like,
I could try to like, so I could say no, but yeah, I could say no, and that's fine.
Yeah, it is.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just would be saying no to certain opportunities or situations because I'd hate to be put in a situation where I'm like doing everything and it's like I have a lot of other things going on.
Yeah.
And it's like I would hate to waste my friend's time and then not enjoy doing the thing with them.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like, you know, if we're going camping and then I'm setting up the tent because you don't know how to set up the tent, and then I'm driving because you don't know how to drive stick shift, and then I'm getting everything else because this is your first time. It could be fun, like in a scenario like, you know, if I'm getting into World of Warcraft or Dungeons and Dragons, that could be very fun. But comes a point in time where it's like, all right, well, it's time for you to like, you know, start moving the pieces as well, moving the pieces to the board, and you're like, no, you do everything because I don't know how.
Yeah, because you've told me like you've had to deal with that with like friends and people and things like that.
And it's like to the point where it becomes a a, like a standoff, so to speak, because I'm trying to, because I want things to look good. You know, I want things like if I want to put content out there, my brain goes, there's going to be a client one day. There's going to be somebody one day. They're going to type in how to create a podcast. I don't know, in a place in Coconut Creek, Pompano, Deerfield, Florida, whatever. And then the video comes up and it's like a dude talking. And then it's like, oh, I like this guy. Oh, he does podcast production. Let me listen more. What? He eats ass and he's comfortable saying that on camera? I don't want this guy near me, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, but this was the discussions that my friends were wanting to have on several podcasts that I had with them.
Yeah,
and I was very cautious because I thought about this on the way home. I'm on the way here. I was literally driving and it just popped into my head. And I forgot. It was one of the questions. I don't know. It's probably that question. And it was about protecting your brand. I don't remember what it was, but it was a question that was like protecting your brand, because I don't want a client to want to see this interview or see an interview of me in the past or a photo or a post on social media, and then it gets misinterpreted, or they interpret it correctly because I say it on camera that I do this, I do X, and it's a bad thing, and it's something that's embarrassing, and it's something that is potentially harmful for my wife, is disrespectful. And it's like, people do that all the time on podcasts, but I don't want to work with a brand or a company that is okay with that. I want to work with the brands and companies who are adverse to that. Like, yeah, do that on the side, bro. You're married. Do whatever you want. Have how many girlfriends you want behind closed door, but on camera, bro, on the microphone where you work, you know, you have families and friends, you're just going to like spit out the most insidious thing ever because a microphone's in front of you. So I have like a wherewithal when it comes to when I'm on the microphone, and I'm not saying that I'm pretending to be somebody. I'm like hiding or I'm lying, but I'm more so like, this could make or break you. And when people get on camera, they just put up for the camera. They'll say whatever they want. You can't do that, like, because this could be your life or death. You can be in a situation where people use this in court against you. I've seen it happen. You know, so when I'm talking, I'm sharing honest and truthful stuff, but not anything that is harmful, damaging. Like, I've said a lot of different things, but I didn't say them in a way that was disrespectful to anybody, any community or anything like that, or myself. So what was the question again?
If it was, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh man, there's like a couple more. I did want to ask, like what are some incel adjacent things that people tend to overlook? And this is kind of like a random.
Oh, this is like a really good question. I can tell the dude is an incel when he has no women around him, and also when he's black and he has no black women around him. Like, that's like a true thing. And also, like, it's more so what he posts and what games he plays. Because I'm in those. I used to play Destiny all the time, and Destiny is a game where it's. We spoke about it earlier in the show. It's a game where, you know, you play a raid, and it's usually 6 people in the raid. You being one of the 6, and you play. It's a procedural game where you do multiple types of puzzles and you solve them, and there are times where things get frustrating and you get kind of annoyed. And it's like the first thing that people utter when they're frustrated or annoyed at somebody. It usually tells you everything you need to know about that person, because this is a video game that is not physically harming you, costing you money, just costing you maybe your time, but you open that opportunity for it. And it's like you getting this virtual gun that doesn't bring any value into the real world. You can't trade it, your account, and sell it on eBay. You know, nothing of value.
Gotcha.
You're spitting some toxic, either homosexual or, you know, women. What was the word I'm looking for anti-woman? Anti-woman.
Anti-gay, anti-women.
Like hateful woman joke, and it's like, oh, nobody put a gun to your head to say that. You just willy-nilly just said that. Okay.
So it goes to show that it's like very like front of mind, like
just
top
front
of
mind. Like you. Oh, is your girl playing? that type of like, oh, is your girl got your controller, stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, up front is very funny, and
Yeah.
it's a joke, but it's like, for one, you're not a comedian. Two, this is a freaking video game. So why are you disrespecting my girl? Why are you disrespecting me? And also, it's
Oh.
just a game.
Yeah.
It's really just a game. It doesn't push the needle forward for you in any aspect of your life other than, look, guys, on my gamer tag it says that I have my KD at XYZ. Mind you, that could bring you peace of mind. It could bring you joy. Maybe that is the thing that makes you alive. But to the everyday person like FPNL or your whatever city you pay your water, yeah, I don't care about your KD, bro. What pay the bill, like pay the internet bill, pay the light bill, and I know that's like almost stoic esque of me, but I've always had that mentality.
That's really interesting because that's such an easy thing to overlook. It's just like, oh, is your girl playing? Because like I'm a gamer. I've gone to like video game bars and I haven't really played online much because like
Yeah,
but like
why don't you play online though?
I guess like also like growing up we didn't really have like the internet speeds and like
I remember the first time playing Xbox 360 online. And I remember the exact words I got called while playing Xbox 360 Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah. That's apparently like the gamer word now.
I mean,
like, that's insanity.
I literally worked at CompUSA, and there was it was like one of the cards you can buy. Actually, no, way before that. I bought like one of the cars from CompUSA, and I connected my Ethernet cable, got a long one, connected it to my room, turned the TV on, got my headset. So excited to playing the game, sucking because
it's your first time.
It's the first time playing online, and I got called the N word with the R, heavy R, hard R, like kilos and pounds R. Like I was like, whoa, like damn, and it was like, what do you do? It's because it's like. Growing up where I grew up, we're fighting. How do I get this guy? Do I figure out? And then it's like, but then, you read the room and you're like, oh no, this is a joke. This is how they joke online.
Yeah.
And then it became like, I'm not okay with this. I'm angry. I don't want to play anymore. But wait a minute. What am I going to do? Am I going to like look at this guy's IP address and like find him? I'm gonna like exert that much energy on that.
It's tempting. I won't lie. It's
tempting, but it's like, what's the point? Just play the game and just ban him. So I reported him, and then I have a screenshot in my phone where it's like I have all these gamer tags where they would curse me out, say racist comments, and it's like, oh, I remember that. I remember being upset about that. I took a picture and I probably sent it to like a group chat or whatever, and nothing ever happened. It's like, man, this person literally took the time out because you can't just type in. It wasn't a text. You'd have to do up, down, down, space,
put in the gamer tag.
Yeah, like use your gamer controller to type.
Yeah.
And to type obscenities and racist comments.
Oh, yeah.
There was no like keypad. There were keypads, but he didn't have a keypad. Like this guy's probably in Montana somewhere with his grandpa's internet or something.
Yeah. That, like honestly, like just how it is online, just the whole culture of it is like one of the reasons why I've never really ventured to playing online either.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I see the appeal and I see how it's fun, especially for games like Call of Duty when you just want to go and just like shoot and just like, blast people and things like that. But it's just like being a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't see me, but they can definitely hear me.
Yeah.
As like I don't want to be out like I don't want to freaking deal with that crap.
Yeah, there's
like,
even there's a lot of streamers who are VTubers, specifically because they don't want people to see how they look. Like you know what a VTuber is?
Actually, no, I don't.
So it's like a virtual YouTuber.
Oh,
like an
because I've seen like VTuber before.
Yeah.
So I actually never knew. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's like a virtual YouTuber, a virtual avatar with all their emotes and all that stuff, and they use that as a way to. Sometimes they just prefer that,
right?
And other times it's like to protect themselves because there are people. People are just weird. People,
they're stalkers.
People are stalkers. People are just very creepy. Men and women. So
Yeah.
it's just got to be careful.
Yeah, like I do know that's just like really annoying, and it's just a whole other extra layer for women,
Yeah.
especially because it's just like a guy could just be out here, like trying to find her, and then thinks that like becomes like a stalker and things.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like women do that too. With in regards to that, it's just like I don't know, because I guess because video games are seen as like a male space. I guess because there's just more men in that space. So you're gonna attract a lot of men, of course. And if you're like, I won't even like if you're just a girl, it's just a woman, like
yeah. Like if you're a woman and you walk into a gun range, people are gonna look. If you're a woman walking into a video game chat room and you start, hey guys, let's have a good match. Whoa, who's that? People are gonna look.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things.
Like you should be in the kitchen making me a sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Not even that, but people are instantly judging. What is she doing here? And then what they do as a man, they would click your profile, look at your kill death ratio, look at what type of games you've played. Oh wow, she's serious. And then they couldn't say, oh no, she's good. And it's like women have to kind of
still that doesn't happen though. Like I've seen TikToks of like there's TikTok accounts of women who are amazing at Call of Duty or whatever game, and just all it is just like her showing what guys keep freaking saying. It's always the same crap.
Yeah.
Which is sad because it's like you're not even like creative at this point. You're not even original.
Repeating the same stuff over and over.
It's like saying the N-word. It's like it's not even like original. It's offensive, of course, but still.
Do you think that it's offensive when black people call white people racist and they're not?
Like just like
there's like, let's say there's a celebrity and people will dismiss this woman or a guy because, well, they're racist anyway. I'm not gonna listen to them.
Oh,
and there's like nothing to really back it, but it's just something that a community of people believe, like, that girl's racist or that guy's racist. Don't listen to them.
Oh, really? I don't think I've ever like. I guess I probably have seen that, just not really even like thought about it and just assumed. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, even if like this person is racist, a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm not gonna say like whatever. I don't know what the heck it is that they're talking about. If they're saying like dark chocolate ice cream is better than white chocolate ice cream, it's like, okay, I would say that that's correct, but it's just one of those things where it's like I can always find somebody else who would say the same thing. It's like I can find a better working clock person. So I think we have a lot of just bad leaders, and maybe not. Yeah, I guess I could say like just not the best leaders or best role models out there a lot of the time, especially like in like online communities, podcasting communities, and things like that.
What do you? Andrew Tate is not a good example.
No, he's the best. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm gonna like shave off my hair and start walking weird.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
And it's just like, I don't know, like it's just sad that there isn't just more people who are just trying to be out there. I mean, I guess there is. It's just like algorithms aren't really showing them because they may not be popular. They may be new. Yeah. Because like they're trying to be a decent person, that's why they're not popular. Like, which is kind of sad. It's like you need to be like some kind of level of controversial.
You gotta be edgy. You gotta create a reaction channel. I almost created a reaction channel and then I said, this isn't me.
Yeah,
because I care about it in a bubble, either with my wife or group chat, and then we give our opinions and then we just let it die into the ether and then wait for the next thing to come out. Like I don't want to harp on something and then it's like I care. Like I don't care about a lot of things.
Same.
And like like I was Kimbucha. She's one of my favorite YouTubers.
That's such a good name.
Yeah, she's so dope. Right? She's a mother. She's a creator. She's married. She's amazing. And she just made a recent video talking about the content she wants to create or content she creates, or just like a tip for people. And it's like, although I'm like far in my content creator journey, it's just really good to just go back to the basics. Hey, just make the stuff you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's so true. I don't have to like do that. And then sometimes I look at a lot of my client work, and a lot of them are just talking about the things that they think people want to hear, or people want to hear.
Yeah.
And then you can hear the inauthenticity, I guess that's the word.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like inauthenticity in the tone and the tonality and the way that they speak. And it's like the whole entire time, like if people can, I don't know if they have those TikTok people who tell this guy's lying, just look at the way he's breathing. Like you can look at this whole entire interview. I've been excited talking because I'm like, oh, I could talk about the stuff that I know I'm talking about. But if you ask me, hey Gil, can you tell me about, I don't know, something like Meghan Markle or I don't know, Andrew Tate, something, like I could tell you a little bit. I know like people probably don't like this person. I know he got arrested for something, or Romania for pizza, whatever the case is.
Yeah, it was like sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly. I
don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah. But that's the reason
like,
why I don't want to do the reaction channel.
Right, because you just don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know.
Yeah, like
and
you don't have
I remember one of my favorite YouTubers. I love Phil DeFranco. I've been watching him since I was in high school, literally. And I remember just a long time, I was like, this guy never has an opinion about anything. He's just reacting, and it's just the news. And I was like, that's great. This is phenomenal. And he's built the trust of the community of people. I still watch him every freaking week, like 2 or 3 times a week, literally. Like I love Phil DeFranco. I love what he's created. But then I was like, this guy never has an opinion about anything. He's just reacting to like the news. Like, wait, isn't just news reaction to what happened? Then I get into this whole like
meta
thing, and I was just like, do I want to do that? And I was like, all right, if I do a reaction channel, I'm going to do a reaction to anime. I'm going to do reaction to nerd stuff. I'm going to do reaction to like things that I really, really genuinely care about. I'm going to do reaction to stuff that I talked to my wife about. Yesterday, I had a 30-minute discussion about Madara Uchiha and Tobirama Senju, which is like anime characters from Naruto. Yeah. And then I explained the battles between him, and there's like the racism of Hashirama's brother, Tobirama. And she was just like, okay, babe. I was like, you get it? Do you get? She's like, I get it. I get that you are excited to share this information. It's just like a random idea I thought about, babe, and I just want to share it with you. Like, that's the stuff I want to do. I want to do that stuff. I want to talk about things that get me really, really excited and share them, versus worrying about what the rest of the world cares about. Hey, we want to talk about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and like I could pretend to care. Like it's very interesting. I could read a script. I have an Elgato prompter. It's a beautiful prompter. You can get it at guildormeus.com/Elgato prompter and get it, you know, and it's phenomenal. I can read a script and say, hey guys, Blake Lively did this and this and that and all those other things, and then not care. Yeah. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to put something out and then have people believe that I like truly feel a certain way about a thing when I really don't.
Right. Yeah. Because that's just like very inauthentic.
I'm not Candace Owens. Like I can't care. I love Candace though. She's the best. She's the best at what she does. She's the best at reporting things that people want to know in her community. You think?
Like, okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't really follow her. It's just I know that she's just like very controversial and like more so like on like the right wing side. Like it seems like I don't know. It seems like grifty to me, but I could be wrong.
She was right wing till she got fired, or she left allegedly, or got fired from the Daily Wire. And I was like, all right, let me look into this. Maybe she's independent now, and she's independent, doing her thing, and she's a black woman, and I like it or not, I gotta support black women.
Speaking of black women.
Okay. But okay, let me just clarify on Candace before I get canceled here.
No, you're...
I like Candace Owens. Do I like everything she says? No.
Okay.
I really don't. But I just love the fact that she is on the internet saying whatever she wants to say, and like it or not, she's doing it, and I like that per se.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
She's
Speaking
good.
of black women,
Speaking of black women, one of the things I really like about the relationship between you and your wife is that you two have come to like a conclusion of just being able to talk to each other about everything. Mm-hmm. How did you two get to that point?
Oh, we made it out of a cult together, and we spoke about it and how that affected me, how that affected her, and what did that do for us and the beliefs that we held about society and reality were all just makeshift lies to keep us in this fortress of solitude where we only could commune with people within it and not commune with other people. So then when I had my best friend live with me for like a year, I realized that, wow, he's a person with things that he likes, things that he hates. And even though he is of society, what we would call him, like he's a flock society.
Really?
Like, yeah, society.
Like you, like that's how, like
most people
were referred to in your church. Like
not in my church, because that's the thing. Like everybody's different.
Okay.
But in my small group of friends, we call them, the society, or
wow.
non-believers. People would say, Gentiles.
Okay.
Regular people.
Gotcha.
I've known him since I was in the 7th grade, and I lived with him. He's a regular guy. And then when I left the organization, me and my wife did. My wife left a little bit earlier than I did, and it kind of. I was like, "Come on, let's go. Come on. You got to come to church. Like people are asking about you. People are saying where you at." And she's like, "I'm not in the mood."
I didn't know your wife left before you.
Yeah, and then it became a thing where like I'm almost lying. She's sick, or she's tired. She's not working on Sabbath, is she? Even though she wasn't. I was like, no, just. She's away, or she's at her mom's church. It just became a thing where I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I got so much responsibility, and I was like at the church at a young age. I just dipped, and then we left, and we basically just spoke about it. We spoke about how I felt, how it'll impact our families, how people are going to be spreading rumors. Like people had so much even I would say like racist or like bigoted rumors that they started about my wife and I leaving. It just became so ignorant to the point where
none of them like asked you. They just like created these.
Yeah, created this reality. Oh, he left because she poisoned him and told him all these stuff and trying to make him like become secular and all that stuff.
Oh,
so it became like a thing where it's like we had this adverse reaction where we're young, just getting married, and we want to enjoy each other's space and company, and we can't because every Saturday we got to go to church. Every Friday we're here, we're doing this, and it became a lot. So us going through that allowed us to like start our marriage instantly. Like, oh, we can talk. Oh, how did that make you feel? Okay, cool. All right, hey, I got this plan to start working here. I want to do this. Hey, here's this person. I want to get into photography. I want to try this. I want to do that. What did you learn? And it's her seeing the progression, me seeing the progression in her, and we can just talk about it. Like we do nature walks as much as we can. Like we go to like state parks. We go to regular parks, and we just would walk and talk about our day, talk about our week, and we do that. Now we could do that every Sunday. But before my schedule changed, it was like every other Sunday or like every once in a while. But now it's like every Sunday, hopefully just keep doing that. And we talk all the time about whatever, work, talk about family, talk about, something in the past, talk about something that's bothering us or her or me, talk about things I want to buy, like the Rodecaster video. A Rode, please see this video. Give me the Rodecaster video. We talk about stuff like that. Talk about plans that I have. Like talk about NAB. How I'm excited because I'm gonna meet a lot of my favorite creators. Tom Buck and his wife Heather are gonna be there.
You never met them in person before?
Never. They're in Cali.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're in Cali. So And then Doc Rock, I got to meet at Pod Fest this year for the first time. And Doc Rock is like a hero to me. He's like, he's this amazing guy, and I got to meet him, and it was so surreal, like just standing there like, oh snap. So I got to meet him, spoke about that, and I told her how excited I am to like go to NAB for the first time. And it's like, it's so crazy, you know? So yeah, we talk about everything.
Yeah. Like, I love that about Chill too, because like, you know, just how you talk about your wife and how you speak about your wife, it's just like, she just sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys are just like, it just seems like there's a level of freedom that y'all have because you guys know each other so well and you guys are so open with one another.
Yeah.
I know that there's like a lot of relationships where there's a lot of secrets, there's a lot of like, it doesn't seem like they really like each other. It's like, yeah, y'all love each other, but you don't really seem like you like each other.
And you could tell too. There's like tells that I have is like I don't know. I had no idea that I talk about my wife so much until somebody brought it up. Somebody was like, dude, you talk about your wife all the time. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because she's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, damn. I'm sorry. I didn't know I talked about her a lot. And I didn't know that was a thing that most husbands don't do. They don't talk about their wives. They more so want to like keep it hidden that they're not married, and keep it hidden that they're married.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never subscribed to that. Like, I've always loved talking about my wife. And somebody would say like, oh yeah, you know, you don't bring up that you're married because you have more opportunities with women. Not that I'm trying to get with women, but I've had the opposite effect. Every time I bring up my wife, I have more women clients. More women feel, comfortable working with me because, hey, this guy's married to a black woman. They like working with him because, oh, his wife is black. And when my wife had sister locks at the time, like it was amazing. People were like, oh wow, she's beautiful, she's black, and she has natural hair. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember a couple of times, and I don't know why I got this, and I don't know where this comes from, but a lot of people say, I'm surprised your wife is black. That was like, because it's so disrespectful because in the answer, because I'll ask these people. I
see why.
Huh?
I see why.
Oh.
But go on.
No, but they'll ask me like, but you ride bikes, you drink matcha, you do content creating, you do photography, and you around a lot of these beautiful women, you're doing all these crazy stuff, and your wife is black. And it's so weird because most black women aren't into that. I was like, my wife is not into that stuff, but I am. What does that have to do with my wife? But then I've seen other male content creator friends who are married and who have wives who just so happen to be black would tell them that they could only do this particular content in this way. And it's like, my wife has never said, you're not allowed to shoot this, and that. You're not allowed to do that. My wife has never said, I don't want this to happen. I'll say, hey, babe, I have this idea. I want to do this. I want to try this shoot. I want to get this lens for this camera. I want to try this particular shoot. Okay. And it was not like I'm not asking for permission. It's more so I'm sharing it with my best friend.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Dude, I'm excited for this. Like, check this idea out. I just had it. And most men don't, I guess they aren't friends with their wives.
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing, like there's a post that's going viral. This would probably be a reaction clip, I guess, of this woman crying her eyes out. She's in a car with balloons. I think it's like saying happy birthday. And she's crying at the fact that, she shared it on the screen on TikTok, that her husband has friends or female friends at work who are saying happy birthday to him, happy birthday to my work hubby, or happy birthday, I love you so much, and this and that. And they're like 2 posts, and she was crying her eyes out, saying that what type of relationship is that? Why would somebody say that? And then me and my wife reacted to it exactly like this. No over exaggeration. Well, it's the husband's fault because he lied to his wife. He didn't tell his wife about these these relationships he has with these people. His friendships with his coworkers who are women were secret to his wife. So it's not the fact that, I mean, maybe it's the fact that she called him hubby, but it's also the surprise factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you just randomly walked up and Jacob was like, I don't know, just walked up and just had like the Wu-Tang Clan as friends. Yeah, I hang out the Wu-Tang Clan all the time. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be kind of like upsetting.
Yeah.
Well, you'd say it's a bad example, but it'd be like something surprising. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me this? And it's just a shocker. I tell my wife everything. And some people would say that you have to have your own life too. I'm married. I don't have a life. We have a life together. And that's the difference where
But you also do a lot of things like without your wife. Like your wife's not like in the other room.
she is. Babe. No, but that's another thing too. And then I did a podcast with this woman. Her name was Vanessa. She actually, I don't get the story right or wrong, but she has a forest that was passed down from generation to generation
That's
or something
so
like that.
cool.
And she has a company called Forest Bath Miami.
Uh-huh.
And I guess there's like a part of the Everglades that her family owns. So she does like forest walks with like black creatives, black people, and it's dope.
That is so cool.
We did a podcast, and while I was filming her, she was interviewed by my friend Fabi. Fabi has a podcast called Conversations in the Garden. I filmed that podcast, and Vanessa said something to me. She's like, after she's about to leave, thank you for bringing your wife into the conversation. And I was like, what? She's like, no, thank you for inviting your wife's spirit and energy here in the conversation. I was like, oh, yeah, you just brought your wife in and nobody even asked you. I was like, yeah, you guys are talking about this and that. And I was like, I said my wife does this. Then I just was talking about my wife. She's like, yeah, most men would hide the fact that they're married and not bring up their wife. But you were just so open and honest to talk about your wife. Yeah, because but then again, going back to the conversations we had about, I can't explain how you would feel about a situation when you're going through an atrocity or situation. I'm married. I can only live as Guil, who's married to Alexandra. I love talking about her, and she does the same with me.
Yeah.
Like she talks about me to people, and people who she knows will be like, "Oh yeah, Gil's cool. I know Guil," but they don't. You know, it's just that's how she is.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
that's how our relationship
that's how I feel
is.
about Alex as well. Like I've only seen her like one time in real life. She does exist.
Yeah, some people. Oh, that was another thing.
Yeah,
People,
like she does exist. She's
people say
gorgeous.
that she doesn't exist.
Beautiful woman.
And it's crazy.
Like, it just seems like I know her, but it's like, oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. Because I talk about her
Yeah.
all the time, and she hates it and loves it at the same time. Because she's like, what if you didn't talk about me? Like, what would that be like? You know? And it's just weird.
Yeah, that's because she's such a massive part of your life, and you just not talk about her.
Yeah, that's your wife, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Like if I were to just like bring up like Buffy, and you're just like, oh, I've heard of that show.
That's so weird.
That's it. That's all you're gonna say.
It. Yeah, I heard of that show. Yep. And then, but you got some people who would do that, and that person would literally die, and people would never know anything about his wife.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Some people are private too. Some people are very private. Like, you know, my wife is very private, but she also is like, you better post me, you know, not saying it, but
Right.
also like, you should be happy. Like, I'm happy to post a picture of my wife. Even like in my studio, there's like a photo of her there. And it's like, I like it there. And some people are like, oh, that's weird. Your wife's picture's here.
It's a great picture. It's your office.
I took the photo. You know, like, I don't know. I'm just like a photographer, creative. Yeah. Like everything that she's like, oh, she feels like she's looking at me. Ha ha ha. I'm like, okay, you're nervous.
Yeah.
Well,
That's definitely nervous.
I get it, but all right. It's a photo that I took. And
it's not like she's like the Mona Lisa where it feels like her eyes are following you.
Yeah. We have an album cover with what's her name? Aaliyah. And it's like an Aaliyah vinyl cover, and it literally looks like she's following you in the room. Like there'll be times where we have like a security camera, and if it's enough light, it'll say that there's someone in the living room, and it's just the Aaliyah poster. It's annoying and creepy. Like she's rocking the boat somewhere in heaven.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I like talking with my wife. I love talking about her to people. Um, I went to a random bar and I met someone and we were talking about our significant others.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, tell me about your wife." And I was like, "Ooh, what not to tell you? Or what can I not tell you? Like
Right.
she's this and that, this and that."
And I love that you talk about her positively too,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of like
Oh my gosh,
very like ball and chains, like oh
Yeah.
the ball and chain, or like oh like my wife or like my husband. And
Yeah.
it's like and it's like an immediate negative. It's like what is wrong with them?
I don't know. I don't get that. And also a thing too. I had a homegirl who was married, and she was married to a guy, and all she could do is like just stand, talk about negative things about the husband, in front, behind his back, and my whole thing is like, it's going to avail nothing for you telling everybody online, talking about him or talking to your new side piece guy friend that you're dating secretly, disrespecting your husband. It's not going to do anything because I don't know him.
Right.
And it's like you're just saying all these negative things about him. And it's like, all right, your turn. Let's disrespect your wife. And I was like,
no.
Even if my wife did do anything to bother me, which she doesn't,
You want
but
to
it's
share?
really, I'm not.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Exactly.
How's that? Hey, y'all, I need help, man. My wife, man, she be mad that I don't clean the dishes. Oh, looks like it's your fault. Clean the dishes.
It's your house too.
Like it's your house. It's your house too.
Your dishes. Yeah.
And that's the thing I just don't understand. Like, I guess it's a younger crowd. Like, what's his name? DDG, who has a baby with Haley Bailey.
Yeah, Halle Bailey. Yeah.
Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
He went online. It's like, I don't get it, man. What should I do? He's like online requesting people to help him out with his relationship and putting out their problems online. He is like not a gentleman in any regard, and I'm not gonna say I don't. It's not a disrespect. It's more so the way that he's moving is not gentleman-like, and I feel like it's very rough men-like. Like a gentleman is very soft in regards to when they speak. When they not soft when they speak, but how they move. They're not going to like disrupt the room and shake things up.
Yeah.
And you should basically you should be a force to be reckoned with, without people like seeing you like shake things up or like say anything like, oh, like, the guy has a respectability. Like he understands how to walk into the room and be seen and heard. And Halle Bailey.
Like Halle Berry, but instead of Berry, Bailey.
Halle Berry. I'm halfway stupid.
Halle Bailey.
Yes. Yeah, she played Little Mermaid, right?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And the other one's getting her rocks knocked off that movie with the bees, the swarm.
Oh yeah, Chloe Bailey.
Yeah. Okay. Halle Bailey, Disney.
Yes.
Chloe Bailey,
not Disney.
OnlyFans. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, like I think I saw him post something. I don't necessarily follow him too much. I think he's like a rapper, a musician,
something
like a streamer, and he made a song, and I'm like listening to it. Obviously, a reaction, and the reaction is obviously a negative reaction, and I hate doing that because it's like I'm just repeating a chamber of secrets, so to speak, of like what somebody else said. So then I listen to him and I watch his streams. He's like a streamer, and it's like I get it. This guy's cool. This guy's really cool, and I could kind of see the appeal, but at the same time, it's not gentleman-like. He's not, doesn't have any like respect for people, but also he's young. And did you ever expect any young rock star to have respect for people? You know, especially for the women he's dating.
Yeah,
and he's young,
like in the early 20s,
and on fire. Like he's literally on fire, like killing it. And he's doing amazing things with whatever he has, the opportunity that's afforded to him. But he's not a gentleman. And there's ways to do it. There's ways to move. But also, he's young. And Halle Bailey is amazing. She's gorgeous. But I just kind of feel like she's embarrassed.
You think so?
Huh?
You think so?
Like
I feel like it's just like when you're young, you know, like, because I think she's like 24, 25 maybe.
Yeah, so she's like, he's the forerunner guy getting the
Let me actually look it up. We have the technology.
Yeah, we do.
How old is Hallie? Because I know she's younger than Chloe Bailey. She already has a kid. So she's 24. Her kid might be like a year old at this point. I don't know time anymore.
Oh, wow.
The kid may have just been born
I'm
yesterday.
I'm going to call this guy. I didn't see his FaceTime. It's a Kamal. We mentioned him at whatever time we did.
Yeah.
And he called me.
Oh, wow. I guess he heard.
I've been FaceTiming him, and I've been FaceTiming him and having like long conversations, and
that was great.
And it's like there's not a lot of men that I have. Like me and Jake are like tight. That's like my brother. I fucking love Jake.
Yeah. And not to be confused with my boyfriend.
Oh.
They're two different people.
Jacob Downs, like he's fucking amazing. Like he's like my photography mentor. I've learned photography with him starting out. We both had the same camera, the Nikon D3200. It's like a crop sensor camera. The one that you were using, at the photo walk, started with that. That was like 2014, 2015. And then I progressed and, got better cameras. Like he's phenomenal. I could talk to him all day about stuff. Like he's a truck driver. He also works for the same company I work for.
I didn't know he was a truck driver. Okay.
But we worked together at like this entry level position years and years and years ago. But Kamal, me and him, we talk photography. We talk life. He's also married. He has kids. He's from the islands as well. So there's like a lot of overlap. He's black, and I just love this guy. We talk all day. And Antonio, there's two Antonios that I know. Both of them I love. One's a photographer, and the other one he lives down here. Madness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know if there was Antonio. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. He doesn't like to be called Antonio, but last name is Durant, so call him Durant. But two guys that I
any relation to Kevin Durant?
No, no. But
I was like, maybe that's why he likes to be called Durant.
Yeah, right. But I could talk to those guys all day, man, and it's like it's so different because I used to have conversations with women on the phone all day, just talking about things that they want to do, go through, things that they're going through, work, creative projects and stuff. And it was great. It was phenomenal just to like be open and all that. I used to text you all the time.
Yeah.
Audio messages and stuff.
Yeah,
and we still do.
Yeah.
I was basically like Kamal would be like, we would talk all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
And my friend who passed, we would literally just be on the phone just talking about creative stuff. So I think men should definitely have like a male friend in their life that they can like talk to. And the thing is, like, I know some people would say, yeah, they just need a place to hate women. Like most guys, to be honest, most guys when they're on the phone, they're like dissing women or they're just objectifying women. But I can honestly say,
really? Okay.
Most guys, that's what the stereotypical thing. Like guys just talking about stupid crap that don't mean anything. But I've had a friend, me and him would just talk about, hey, I'm playing baseball with the kid, or I'm at the water park with my daughter. My daughter's here and that. We talk about stuff, talk about creative projects I'm working on, the goal with the project. Like we used to talk about CoSpace all the time. He's like, man, that's so dope. It's the black space made by a black woman. And she like gives you all these opportunities. We started talking about that. And we would talk, and then me and Kamal would talk about tactics and photography stuff, talk about our goals, talk about, he spent many years in the Marine Corps. So we talk about his deployments and stuff and how he viewed the world. Like he went to Japan, lived in Japan, obviously off Bay or whatever. And it's just great conversations with like dudes. And me.
I wonder if he knows my friend, because my friend was in the Marine Corps in Japan as well. He was a black dude. Yeah. I wonder if I still have his number. I'll look at it later.
But yeah, I think like men should definitely have like a guy in their life that they can talk to.
Yeah, for sure.
And like just, and I never like shared anything like private, like, yeah, me and my wife are this and that,
Oh,
or they never
okay.
shared that, but they're more so like just somebody to talk to. And me and him, we listen to the same podcast, Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne, and that's pretty much how we started becoming friends. You know, it just was just great. So me and Kamal, we're good. We talk about photography all the time, FaceTime each other. Like I said earlier on, he FaceTimed me about the photo that I took at Pilar, and we talked about that. And you just FaceTimed me earlier, and I didn't notice my phone was on silent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to have, especially if you're a guy. It's good to have somebody in your life who you can just talk to. Talk to your wife. Talk to your girlfriend as well. I think that's very important. A lot of women
for sure. Yeah.
don't get the benefit. Like, a lot of guys think the woman would judge them, but trust me, like, if you're honest with your significant other, and I only could speak for the opposite sex. I don't know if it's probably the same thing if in like gay relationships, maybe. But I know if you're dating a woman, and a lot of guys will say that if you're dating a black girl, you can't be this and that. No, you just be honest.
Yeah, just be yourself.
Hey, just be yourself, and she will love you for it. And also, carrying this fake facade of this whole I'm going to be a tough guy.
Yeah.
What it does is you have to carry that mask, and that mask has like weight to it.
Yeah.
And you're going to get exhausted. And then one day you're going to put it down for a second, and then your wife or girlfriend or whoever is going to, touch your shoulder, ask for help, and you're going to like shout and scream, "Get away from me. What do you want?" And like, oh, so you were like pretending the whole time. And that's tough.
Yeah.
So
my therapist says that like if you're doing something like that, it's acting. So like, there's two words in acting. It's action and then cut. Yeah. And like eventually you're gonna have to say cut. Yeah, eventually.
I've seen it a lot. And when people had a friend, we stopped being friends after a while. She was like, "You're toxic positive."
That is a thing.
And she's like, "You're just always on go, and you always have an answer for everything, and you're just always trying to help, and it's annoying to me." And I get it. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take the love, the appreciation, the energy that I'm giving towards you and just go to somebody else who could appreciate it. And maybe it is probably toxic positive, but somebody else is like, "Yo, you're doing what? For how much? Hey, let's go."
Yeah.
So
especially like down here in South Florida, it's hard to, because there's a lot of just fake people. So it feels like
that's
she's like she's like waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like, all right, when is he gonna like cuss me out? When is he gonna just do me dirty? Yeah. Yeah.
That's another thing too. So I was more so like, all right, well, I was so angry when that happened, and then behind the scenes, you find out people are saying things behind your back, and you're like, "Oh, I'm so upset at this." You know what? That's not going to do anything for me. It's not going to push the needle forward.
Right.
I'll just let this person live, and then I forgive them, which is my cult culture, where it's just like turn the other cheek and just let it ride. But also like never forget. So then when this person,
so it's only half of the cult.
Yeah, half of the cult. So when this person is circling back, and I see them coming back in, I'm like, I understand you probably grew and realize what you had, because now you're looking at me via social media. You're like, wait a minute, he didn't stop. No, I kept going.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go, but I'm also at my own pace, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has their own mountain to climb. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Guil, this has been an amazing conversation.
How long has it been?
Oh, God.
Gotta be 3 hours.
I think 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So close.
That's still a lot.
I know. I know.
Did you get all the questions?
For the most part. Like, this was just kind of, the questions are just like a template. Yeah. Just like to show people, like, what I'm trying to get at. But, yeah. Like, there was, like, some that I didn't get, but it's fine. No, like you kind of answered it anyway, in like
Okay.
in other ways.
Yeah, because I did read them through, and I actually cheated. So while I was at work, I copied and pasted the question to ChatGPT, and I said, "Read this over for me," and it just read the
That's
questions.
not cheating though.
No, but I didn't have it. I didn't have it give me an answer to say.
Right,
I just
exactly.
read it because I couldn't look at it while I was at work. I just kept listening to it. I had only one headphone. I would just listen to the questions over and over again. Hey, can you repeat those questions? It'll just read them all over and over again, and I'll just have like an idea in my head about what I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna say it, stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like one question I do want to ask
Oh.
because like, and I think this is like super important. So I remember when I initially asked you the whole like fictional characters, which like growing up, what you emulated. Like weeks ago when we talked about this, I remember you said Kamina from Gurren Lagann.
I did, and then also as I was looking into the mirror, I saw my Kamina tattoo, which is like it's twofold. It's a Kamina
Oh yeah, that is
band.
yeah.
It's a Kamina band, but it's also a story for what I wrote when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I was looking, damn it, Kamina, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like, so a little bit of backstory. Like a couple of weeks ago, Gil and a couple of friends and I went over to a friend's place, and they were all talking about Gurren Lagann, and I watched it up until I guess like episode 19 and just fell off. Not because I didn't enjoy it. It was just I don't know. There's a lot of anime like that with me. Like Death Note is another example. I loved it. I just never finished it.
Yeah.
No idea why. So the next day, I am home and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just finish watching Gurren Lagann. I'm gonna sit down and just watch it. And I'm watching it. My boyfriend comes over. He's a massive fan of Gurren Lagann. He wants to get a tattoo as well of the drill. And, you know, watching it, loving it. And he's also like explaining the backstory to me because it's been like 10 years. Yeah. Fortunately, Netflix still remembered where I last left off. And, you know, of course, like you can't forget Kamina, especially like the tragedy that happens in episode 8. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about Kamina is like he is why Simon was able to drill to the heavens. Yeah. He was why Simon had the faith and belief within himself. Yeah. And it's just so beautiful, you know, like I cried because not every person, especially guys, not every guy has like a Kamina in their life. Did you ever have a Kamina in your life?
I guess my older brother was like my Kamina.
Yeah.
But till he got deported.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But but to go back to the question, I definitely am going to say Kamina is a person that ever since 2007 when the anime dropped, I was watching it once a week, and it's by far one of the greatest mediums, like stories of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's so good.
I highly agree.
Yeah, and it's like, and I also came up with a fan theory, because I watched the series over and over again. I know it word for word.
Yeah.
And
word for word, bar for
bar, right? So I feel like Simon. When Simon retires at the end of his life and he's like no longer in the starlight trying to be like super popular or whatever, and he's roaming around, there's like a kid, this is the last episode, there's like a kid with blue hair like playing with a drill, and Simon shows him how to do it, and he looks up, oh yeah, that's gonna be me one day, ha ha ha. And it's like humans are like roaming the earth pretty much, so to speak, like taking care of it. I almost believe that that's Kamina as a kid. And Simon's or Kamina's father is really just a mentor, and it was Simon who went back in time, or I don't know how to say it, but it's just, I've always thought of that mysterious person who Kamina says, that's my father. That's just Simon. It just was a reverse back in time. So the person who made Simon who he is Simon, not Kamina. Oh. At the end of the day, that's I always thought of.
That's a cool theory. That's kind of like Interstellar.
Yeah, almost like Interstellar. Like he was the one who pushed him look above the heavens and like, you're gonna be like that one day or whatever. But I was like, hey, what if that's the case? And I love Gurren Lagann. Yeah. I just can't. I just love that series so much. And it's like the way that the villains, Lord Genome, how he just swapped over, and it's just so good. The story's just amazing. Yeah. No, like it's so important to have
like a mentor or somebody in your life like that. And so was there anybody else aside from your older brother? But like the fact that your older brother was able to put such an impact on your life.
Yeah, like a reason why I draw or have any creative interest in like art is because I was trying to emulate him. He was drawing. There's this forget his name. I want to say his name. I want to give him a shout out. He played Issa Rae's brother on Insecure. Gene.
Yeah.
Want to get his name. He just posted a photo on Threads his name is Gene Ali.
Because I know he's Haitian in real life.
Yeah, he's Haitian.
Yeah.
So he posted a photo on his Threads of a person like drawing Goku on the TV. I used to do that. I would do that for like all the cartoons, Simpsons. I would try to draw, like you'd have like a split second because we had tube TVs back in my day, not like LCDs. So you like puncture it with a pencil. So it was like a tube. So you're drawing on it and you could see it and the light's illuminating. So like you draw real quick and trace, and then you just practice that till you go to bed. And I'll just wake up and like drawing, and I love drawing. And my brother drew. He did poems. Like he would write girls' love poems, and I was like, I guess that's what I got to do. I got to write poems. And my brother was very, very creative, and I was like, all right, cool. I want to be that creative too. And
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm really glad that you had and still have a Kamina in your life.
Yeah, I mean, not how Simone had it, but definitely I really wish. And I'm trying to. That's why I'm a part of Born on Purpose. It's a nonprofit here, and I'm trying to be like a Kamina, so to speak, for like a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So I joined this nonprofit. I've done it before with another nonprofit called Handy, where we teach kids how to use laptops, computers, create podcasts. I've taught kids for like 2-3 years in a row how to create a podcast, and it is always rewarding how these kids who literally doubt themselves and their skills, and they're like, oh, I could never do that. And then I walk them through how to do it. And at the end of the program, they're like vlogging and creating. Like that's dope.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're wrapping it up for real.
Wrapping it up for real.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I asked you that question. Guil, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you on and off mic.
Yeah.
You're one of my, I would say you're one of my best friends.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you too. Yeah, I talk to you like all the time.
Right. Yeah. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Like your life.
Yeah, I said a lot.
Yeah. Well.
That's it. Oh,
if
you guys want to check me out,
I was gonna say, like anything you want to promote.
Right? If you want to check me out, go to YouTube and search for GUIL DORMEUS. So that's Guil space DORMEUS. I'm also on Instagram at GUIL.DORMEUS. Hit me up. Send me a message. If you need help producing a podcast, you have any questions on what cameras to buy, I have a lot of time on my hand and I'm willing to share that information with you.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll make sure to put everything in the...
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
All right, thank you.
All right, and thank you all.
Bye.